That's the sound a penguin makes.
Does it? Do it again?
No, that's the sound a penguin makes.
What? Yeah, do the sound again.
I will not do it again.
Why not?
Because I don't repeat myself. Not in penguin noises. Anyway, what's up, Inners?
Oh, wow. I feel cheated.
Good. Good. Now you know how the MLB feels. Astros, baby. Woo! Assange just told me something interesting. Did y'all know that Uber Eats, by the time y'all get this, Uber Eats and Uber will have been companies used to just murder people. But
I don't know about Uber Eats. Uber Eats, as of right now, might stay around. But Uber and Lyft apparently are going to get out of California.
That's what today is in our time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy, bro. Because I was just telling you, Uber Eats, bro, if you Uber Eats right now, you making motherfucking bread, dog. Because pre-tip, we're talking, they automatically start with 15%. And that's usually like going to be $6 to $8. If you make it 20, you're going to get higher than that. Right? This is a pre-tip. So you're getting the 15% of the 20%.
Right.
So you're already getting that. And then there's another little then they have they in the tax or in the money there's a little bit for the driver.
Right.
So you're getting that. And then there's a little button that you have now on Uber Eats that says you want your food priority. And that's $2. And that means you get your food first. Unless, this is my problem with that, what if four of us ordered from Fatburger and we all did priority?
Yeah.
Now what? I guess it's really who had the best tip. But if we all had a 20% tip, then it's just Uber Eats.
Yeah. It's an interesting time. It's an interesting, like...
You can make money, though. If you getting them kind of tips and you getting 10 orders a day, you made a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's also like, damn, if Uber Eats leaves, what the fuck are the people of Los Angeles going to do?
How are they going to eat food?
How are they going to eat food? That's so much money.
I'm assuming New York is that way, too.
Yeah, I'm assuming New York is that way, too. New York has, like, Uber bike messengers and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's small enough you can do that.
Yeah, you can do
Not
that.
Small enough, but you know what I mean.
But it's the way the infrastructure is set up.
Yeah, you can't do that here.
Yeah, but I'm curious. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure if LA is as doom and gloom as we've been saying. I was talking to our friend Gordon Hale yesterday, who was like, there's still like infrastructure for shoots and stuff going on, and he's still working. But
me and Sam on our walk this morning, we walked by people shooting stuff, like professionally shooting, like a whole, a crew.
Yeah,
because we didn't see, we saw the trailers and we saw the crew setting up outside. So it was like, oh, this is a real. Yeah, they all had masks on and shit, but this is like, oh, this is a shoot. This is somebody shooting.
They get tested Gordon says he gets tested every week.
Damn.
Yeah, but
NFL players get tested every day. Son.
Yeah. But that being said, losing Uber here is going to be rough.
Well, here, because that's how you get around. Yeah. Some people still.
That's how you get around. That's how you make money. And then if Uber Eats leaves, then
I don't know how people. That one I'm more interested in because I know the Uber. This is what's interesting. I feel like it's the exact opposite of what it was pre-COVID because I feel like now a Uber driver. I mean, if there's any Uber Eats or Uber drivers out there, please hit us up and let us know. I'd love to know the facts.
Especially in a big city.
But I feel like pre-COVID, you made more money Ubering, regular Ubering. You got way more rides and tips and stuff like that, right? And nobody was really tipping the Uber Eats driver, really. COVID happened. Now nobody's getting in Ubers really at all. You're just getting less rides, period.
Definitely way less rides.
But people are still eating the same.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed at all.
Right.
But now people tip when they eat. Mm-hmm. Because there's like, oh, I have to. I feel bad. Kind of like there's this thing now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's no way if you Uber Eats, bro, I feel like you're making a little bread. But I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. But I feel like y'all are making bread because them tips is fat. Because I was looking at them like, damn, bro, I just gave this nigga like $9.
Yeah.
It's a big tip.
You make
for an Ike sandwich or whatever the fuck I got that day. You know?
And then you make X amount of deliveries per day. That can add up.
That can add up. If you out there getting it in, you getting like 10 to 15 orders in a day with that kind of tip.
Yeah.
That's over $100 in tips.
Yeah.
That's a great day. And then and that's not including your other little bit of tips and the other work, like the other money you're gonna get. So that's like, but don't get me wrong, you worked your ass off and fucked your car up, but
see that at the end of the day,
you're always losing.
As someone who drove Lyft for a month, the end goal is like even if because I made $1,300. Not a bad amount of money, but
you survive off that.
Yeah, you could definitely survive off that. But especially the way I was living back then, for sure. Yeah. But. The amount of miles you put on your car is eventually that shit will come back and bite you. And then or if now pre-COVID, if you were those people that leased their cars through Uber, and you had to get X amount per thing to cover the lease,
X amount of rides.
Yeah. I don't even know what that's like.
it's a painful situation. That's what that's
Yeah, right? Like, how are you getting enough rides? Maybe you are. Maybe you're getting enough. Maybe the city is back enough to normal, and we just don't see it because our jobs are fucked. But, like, I doubt people are, I think even the people who are going out less than they normally would.
Oh, you mean like the people who, let's say, were bar hopping before COVID?
And the people who are, like, currently bar hopping on Sunset now?
Yeah.
Which is, like, they have all those outdoor bars, which is, like, hey, just sort of primed for an outbreak.
But those people are, like, those are the extreme. Because I feel like the most people, I'd say a good amount of people who were regular bar hoppers before COVID, regular club goers, are just like me and you, who are like, I'm not going outside.
Right.
I'd say that's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's because I mean, if it wasn't, I mean, there has to be that many people or else the streets of LA would still be flooded and the traffic would still be nonsense.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think I do think the majority of the people are like me and you, where they're like, I'm chilling in the house.
Yeah.
But there is a big pocket.
Yeah.
Who's still. It's crazy to still be wanting to club hop during this. Because I want to go outside. I go outside every day. Me and Sam go for long walks. Mm-hmm. We do all kind of shit, nigga, hikes. But, nigga, I'm not as bad as I want to go to a comedy club. Nigga, what? I'll go do a show. Though. But I'd hope that it was at least something outside or whatever,
Yeah.
So just tell me you did something. At least try to be the NBA.
You're right. Try to show me that you're doing something to like try to keep it safe.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean it's just
because it's impossible. I know it's impossible, right. But if you show me you try it, then it's like I don't know. We're playing this like fair game. Mm-hmm. It's like fair. It's like all right, we're being fair. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, you say it all the time, nigga. If we gonna say fuck it though, let's say fuck it and open everything up. Super Bowl tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck the season even.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every game. Teams. Yeah. Two random teams in the Super Bowl every day.
Yeah.
For a month. You know what I mean? In different stadiums, pack them out, free tickets. You know what I'm saying? All college football, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it rip, dude. Farts.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
Kill everybody.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh man, who knows? Every day is funny.
Every day is funny. Every day I feel like it's coming back, or like, oh man, this is what it is. This is not. Things are gonna be so different, and then it's like, oh god. I think at the end of the day, I'm happy with the decision of like, all right, I'm just gonna take a step back for whatever this year is.
Yeah, because you know what you got to do. You really just got to calm down and try to do your best to be like Michael Jordan, that is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that means go outside and talk shit to the virus. That's what we want.
Well, no. Michael Jordan would do that. Michael Jordan would go to a bar, and then the virus kind of like looked at him the wrong way, and he'd be like, "Well, that's when I took it personal."
Yeah. And then he dropped 60 on the virus.
Yeah, and the virus fucking faded away, dude.
Yeah.
It didn't have we don't even talk about the virus no more.
Yeah,
because it just got 60 dropped on it. Like, the GOAT, son. Yo, that is how Michael handled the virus. And and then you find out from like a year later from the virus.
The virus wasn't even at the bar.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
and COVID's like, dude, I never even met that fucking guy.
Yeah.
The next day he just saw me and said, it's personal now, and dropped 60.
Yeah, it was a wild time. What a movie, huh?
Before we get into this week's movie, we got to talk about Like Mike, which was last week's movie.
Yeah.
Did you love it? Was it made for you? Did you thank them for saying, hey guys, I know I saw it a little late, but thank you.
It was absolutely made for me. You're right. It absolutely took me back to being a kid. Especially when he's like in the hotel room and he's jumping up and down on everything. I was like, oh.
Well, man. That was us literally a few months ago.
Yeah.
That wasn't us as kids. That was us in Kansas City.
Yeah. It was fun. It was just. It's Air Bud, but with a kid.
Air Bud with a human.
Yeah.
Because it's impossible basketball.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. This is what I don't get. This is what I don't get. Okay, so let's break down the sports.
Oh, I love it. Let's break it down.
So he comes back against the Spurs, right? Dominating.
Kills the Admiral. Yeah, kills him.
Yeah, clearly you can't dribble on the guy, right? Like in defense, because he can steal the ball.
Easily.
But here's the question. If you're Greg Popovich and this kid is torturing you, why not be like, all right, well, look. We can't dribble on this guy because he's a fucking god, apparently. Why not? All right. Even though he
that's what Greg Popovich would say.
Yeah.
He's a fucking god. That's what he's saying in the huddle.
Yeah. This is fucking, we're playing against a god. Why not then come up with a game plan is. He still jumps, right? So when he jumps, he still has to make up that height.
Yeah.
So he can't. His shot blocking ability is still not that strong. Clearly, you should run an offense where all you do is spot up shots against him.
Yeah, ISO him, spot up shots.
Yeah. Well, you can't ISO him because he'll steal the ball, but it has to be like
I'd screen him to death.
Screen him to death,
and then when you get spot up shots.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can play him.
That's the only way you can play him. And clearly none
You know
of
what?
us
Also,
do
when you really think about the logistics, now that I'm thinking about it too, now
Yeah.
you got me thinking about it.
Yeah.
They never show him getting back on defense. His transition defense and offense would be terrible. The shoes don't make him a fucking speed demon. They just make him a better basketball player.
Well, that's true. He's not faster.
No, he's not faster. His transition offense and defense against Allen Iverson in his prime would be terrible.
Yeah. Also, AI, after seeing the movie, you're definitely bullshitting. Who are you? Get out of here. I won't let that go.
Yo, you the mascot?
Yeah.
We're the Knights.
Bitch, did you watch SportsCenter at all? Has no one talked to you? You're not aware that.
No, what do you mean? Fuck SportsCenter. This is an NBA team, yes?
Yeah.
You guys watch film, yes?
Yeah.
You guys do pregame stuff,
Yeah,
yes?
you wouldn't be talking about the kid who dunks.
And dropped 27 in the Spurs yesterday?
Yeah, the Spurs. The Spurs.
Good Spurs.
This is 2002 Spurs, so.
They're about to go to the finals next year.
Yeah, they've already won a championship. Tim Duncan's on that team.
The Admiral's not on that team.
Admiral won 2 with the Spurs.
He did. You're right. I thought he just won 1.
He's just old.
He was a beast.
Yeah.
He was the Admiral. What a great fucking nickname. But yeah, bro, I did think about that. Like, bro, how the fuck is this nigga getting back on defense?
I thought about defense a lot in this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I did think about defense a lot.
Screens? You're right. He's not getting off screens.
Yeah. Also, when he quits and the whole team just accepts it, and others are like, "Wait, why is this your last game?
Yeah. What's wrong? Wait,
what happened?
Where's your shoes?
Yeah. What?
Where's those ugly shoes you always wear?
Yeah. What happened? What's going on? Also, it's also weird. Oh, let me write down I wrote down a couple notes. Let me get to them. Just a couple of cool cameos. So, in the beginning, when they do the Hannah Storm talks about him, the guy she's talking to is Tom Tolbert, and that's just a guy I grew up listening to. He was a radio guy in the Bay Area.
Hilarious.
All the time.
Speaking of radio guys, man, how funny is it the Thomas Brenneman guy shit?
Tom Brennan?
Tom Brennan, bro, that's the funniest shit I've ever. Brenneman, bro, that shit happened today. The Brenneman shit.
Yeah.
It happened today.
Yeah.
Nigga, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
What's this, the fag capital of the world?
Yeah.
We're back to Cincinnati Red baseball.
Yeah. Hey.
It's a hot one out here today.
Yeah. Hey, dude. I heard it said best.
Yeah, I can't watch it.
Yeah, when you're broadcasting, a microphone is like a loaded gun.
It's always hot.
It's always loaded.
Always hot. They were like, oh, the mic was hot. No, it's always hot.
It's always hot. You have to assume it's hot.
This is hot.
Yeah.
When I'm talking in front of this, I know what it is.
Yeah.
And it's just me and him in this room, and we edit and produce it.
Yeah.
But I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We can edit out anything we want.
Right.
But I still know that this mic is hot. Like, you feel me? Like, I'm not a fucking idiot, dog. But, yo, what was better? Him saying fag capital of the world or him calling a home run in the middle of his apology?
Bro, so he's
what was better?
He's apologizing. First of all, his apology is crazy.
Well, it's the worst apology I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm sorry to the people who write my paychecks.
Yeah.
The people who write my paychecks?
Hey.
This isn't the Jewish community you offended.
Yeah.
This is the gay community.
Also,
boom. Did you hear that joke?
I did. Also, you didn't say, oh, is this the people who write my paycheck community capital of the world? No. You know what I mean? Like, that's not who would get mad. And also, to say I'm a Christian man.
Oh, I'm a man of faith. I've always been a man of faith.
Yeah, what? Who cares?
We know who you are.
Yeah.
You know how we know you are? Remember 5 minutes ago?
Yeah.
You let us know exactly who you were.
Yeah. And it's not like it was like, oh man, he acted like the word fag came out because like that's sort of the cultural thing and like he grew up at a time where you didn't say that.
No. Let's change the scenario.
Okay.
He says fag, but you hear him, the mic is hot, and he goes, oh, shut up, you goddamn faggot. And you hear him and another guy laughing.
Right.
And then he goes, all right, 2-1 Reds back. Now you're like, okay, because now it's context.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Now it's context.
Right.
He said the fag capital of the world. And, bro, you meant that shit.
Yeah.
You meant there's a lot of motherfucking faggots who live there, bro. That's what you meant. That's what you were saying. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't accidentally say that shit.
Yeah, you meant that.
From your balls, you meant that, bro.
Yeah, there was hate in your heart when you said that. You could feel it.
Yeah, like there was hate. Nigga, I don't think there was hate in Drew Brees' heart when he said the national anthem thing, that he's going to kneel for the anthem. He's an idiot.
Right.
I don't think that, because you saw it. Context is context. I don't think Drew Brees is out there like, I want to kill niggers. They're on my team. Like, no, I think he was just like, no, they tell me to stand for the flag. That's what I do. Yeah. And that's it. And that's as deep as that goes. He just doesn't, ignorance, bro. Ignorance and stupidity are two different things. I think sometimes people conflate the two. You know?
I mean, what do you mean, ignorance? I think he was being stupid.
He was being stupid.
Yeah.
Drew Brees was being, no, this guy was being, Drew Brees was being motherfucking stupid.
Yes.
Drew Brees was being stupid. This guy was being stupid.
This guy's ignorant.
No, this guy was being stupid.
This guy was being stupid, but you said Drew Brees was being stupid. You just said that.
No, I'm sorry. I said it wrong. Drew Brees was being ignorant. This guy was being stupid.
Okay.
Ignorance is you don't know.
Right. Okay.
That's ignorance. What is it? Ignorance is you straight up don't know. Right. But a lot of people take that as like, you saying it's like, no, but it's not you're stupid. You literally
don't know.
That nigga, Brenneman, my bad. Yeah. He knew.
Yeah, he knew.
And that nigga's stupid.
Yeah.
He said that shit.
He said that shit. What's crazy is that, so he calls the home run in the middle of the argument. The home run falls in the judgment-free zone. Hey, writers of 2020, way to knock that one out of the park.
Yeah. I mean, because they did write this. That was clearly scripted. We all know that.
How, what the fuck? And then he got pulled in the middle of the game.
That man had, that was so funny.
Yeah.
That man said, I'm sorry, I'm a man of faith. My family know me. I know my character. I want to apologize to the people that write my checks. And that's a long fly ball deep center field. And that one is gone. That is his second home run of the day. Reds up 4-0. I'm truly sorry. I apologize to anyone that I may have offended.
I don't know if I'm going to be wearing this headset again.
I don't know if I'll be commentating for the Reds again. Take it away, Judge. Or what do you say? Take it away, Jed. And then and that's it. And it's like, dang, bro, you didn't even get what you did wrong. Also, this is what's funny to me about that again.
Yeah.
To hammer this home. He was sorry. This is why the apology is real. He is sorry. He said it in his apology. I'm sorry to my organization. I'm sorry to the people I let down. I'm sorry to the people that write my checks. He is sorry because those people, the higher ups, said, hey, do not say fag or nigger or this or that or mother bitch or whatever on the radio. Period. Do not say that. He was like, I know the rules. Don't say that on the radio. I said that on the radio. Right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, my God, I fucked up. And it's like, nigga, the world is not mad about that little.
No.
The world is mad because you don't know, like, what's going on.
Yeah, you don't get it. You don't get it. At the end of the day, it's like, yeah, that's what I said. He just doesn't fucking understand. He still doesn't get it. His apology was so clear. Like, man, you don't get it.
Yeah.
You truly
but that's
don't
stupidity
get it.
Or not ignorance. Because it's like, nah, bro, when you said the fact thing, you knew what you was talking about. You knew what you was talking. When Drew Brees said, I'm going to stand for the anthem, he didn't know, like, oh, this is going to make every black person think different of me.
Right.
He thought, this is what I said in 2016. This is what you say. You say this. Da, da, da. Bill Burr had a great joke about it, about the Duck Dynasty guy.
Right.
How his whole life he's been taught gays don't go to heaven. Gays don't go to heaven. And, you know, you just get repeated in like, and, you know, you're like, bop. And he's like, it was like him singing, like, somebody says this and you go, bop, 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 because that's what you're taught.
Right.
And then your whole life goes by. You end up becoming a billionaire on Duck Dynasty. You make this duck, like, all these things happen. And then somebody goes, hey, what do you think about gays? And you're like, bop, 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 because that's what, like,
yeah.
You don't, it's just
you
fucking.
Just don't know.
You don't, it's conditioned. It's it's just like niggas is conditioned, bro.
Yeah, in no sense of the word, in no way were you conditioned to say fag capital of the world. You knew exactly what you were saying.
You were like, nigga, whatever city I'm talking about right now, there's a lot of gay ass niggas there.
Yeah.
And I don't like them.
Also, yeah, clearly you don't like them. Also, Kansas City, I would venture to say, not the biggest gay population in the U.S., huh?
No, I think you just don't like Kansas City.
Yeah, I think
and
that.
I think you saw some gay guys there.
Yeah,
and you took it personally.
You took it personally because you were like, I don't like gays in my America.
Yep. And then you fucking let that shit slip on TV.
Yeah. Oops. Don't feel bad for you.
Nope.
Not a bit.
Don't feel the slightest bad for your stupid ass, nigga.
Dumb fuck. Oh, you know what he's going to
get a job where you can say faggot like us.
Yeah. That's why. Yeah. Well, you know.
We can say faggot.
Yeah, we can.
Give it to me, yeah.
Nope.
Drop one. drop one of Clueless bombs for that nigga.
What's it called? Two of the when he's talking to the bad parents. You know how he's the bad parents.
Oh, Corey Holcomb. Yeah. I left that out. And then Fred Armisen.
Yeah. I had to write that
I saw
down.
it, and then I was like, I'm not skip past this.
Okay.
Because then I'd have to break down the whole montage, like what was really going on. And I wanted to just kind of like, I don't need this. This wasn't needed.
That's true. Good point.
But yeah, it was dope to see Corey Holcomb though. I was like, oh man, look at Corey Holcomb in there.
Last thing I want to talk about. It's weird that they treat adoption like a relationship.
Yeah, super weird.
Yeah, like a relationship.
Like he gets the boys, and then he's like, and then Tracy's like, you found someone else? And like, what is this?
Yeah, you found someone else, and then his adoptive parents, he just leaves them in the parking lot like a lover.
Yo, what the stadium lights go out?
Yeah, like, hey, there's paperwork involved. It's not like they're gonna be like, well, he didn't choose us. I guess. Oh no.
I guess we leave this parking lot.
No, there's gonna be courts and lawyers involved.
Yeah, they want you. You're a money-making item.
Yeah. Also, how come you want a dad so bad, but you don't want a mom?
Yeah, weird.
Yeah,
What happened to you and your mom?
Yeah, what the fuck is going on there? Oh, I want a dad. I want a whole trade. Also, why would this fucking young athlete adopt 2 children?
Also, same for their best. Yo, you remember how like he's got the chick in a different city?
Yeah.
And then later she's chilling in his house. And it's like,
playing Scrabble.
That's not how hoes work. Sam goes, that's not how hoes work. I was like, we all know that's not how basketball hoes work.
Yeah, I 100% thought too. I was going to bring that up.
Some bitch that you're fucking, what city were they in? It's Philadelphia, because they were going to play the Sixers.
Right.
Some bitch you're fucking in Philly has nothing to do with your LA life.
Right.
And let me tell you something else. Scrabble has nothing to do with either of those scenarios.
Yeah, why are they playing? The whole thing, I was like, why are they playing Scrabble?
And he's all like in deep thought about how he wants to be a dad now.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here,
Yeah,
dude.
why the fuck does he want to be a dad?
Why don't you worry about like winning a title?
Yeah, it makes no sense as to why he wants to be a dad. Now, it would make more sense if the coach wanted to adopt him.
Coach Wagner should have wanted to adopt.
Yeah.
Also, that was the relationship.
That was absolutely the relationship. They were who sees their teammate and is like, I want to be his dad.
Yo, also they have a teammate bond relationship.
Yeah.
That's what makes it weirder for him to adopt. So now it's like, wait a minute, I was calling you tea time for like a year.
Right.
We played 82 games together.
Yeah.
Yo, we played a full season.
Yeah.
Got you to the playoffs, and now I'm going to be like, you know what? You're my dad now.
Right.
And I'm going to respect you.
What?
And here's Murph, my best friend.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make this call, not you. It ain't like Danny Glover who remember Danny Glover made the decision to adopt both of them? Uh-huh. This guy was like, hey, I'm going to adopt you, Little Bow Wow. And Little Bow Wow was like, hey, what about my friend? And he's like, bring that nigga too. Like it's a threesome.
Yeah, dude.
This makes no sense. Yo, the paperwork you'd had to do to get Murph.
Yeah. Is insane. To steal him from the other family, who was definitely more suited to you if there's like an adoption. But also to treat them like, to treat the way they treat these orphan kids like they're dogs. Like you just pick them up and just leave with one is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's way harder than that.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure some adoption agency would be like, well, we'll send them to the family because it's like a whole family unit, and I don't even know if you can cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's what I was thinking.
I will say this: a basketball player would have. I mean, he's a star basketball player, too. He would have good odds. I'm not saying be able to get a kid, but, like, it helps that he's a star basketball player.
Does help that he's a star basketball player. But, yeah, we don't know how he spends his money. You know what I mean?
He's got a nice house.
He's got a nice house. It used to be Tracy McGrady's old house.
Oh, that's what they used it for?
Facts says. Yeah.
He was in the movie.
He was in the movie.
Was it?
I don't know.
At that time?
No. I think it used to be Tracy McGrady's house at that point.
Damn, you imagine being that rich for that long?
Yeah.
Like some of these guys, they've been so rich for so long.
Mm-hmm. Wild.
Tracy McGrady said he's still making money off of it was Adidas or Reebok or whatever. Like because back when he signed that,
right?
It's like one of those big $150-200 million deals with Adidas or whatever. Mm-hmm. And he said he still makes money off that, like crazy money, like crazy, like insane. Never have to think about anything again, money off that deal. You know how many deals he's made since then? He played with the Rockets after that.
Yeah, that's
you know what I'm saying? Like this was during his like early Orlando years. Look at him now. Like he had so many years after that.
Yeah. So like let's talk about what kind of players movie Tracy is. Is he like that Tracy McGrady where he's stacking money on money on money, or is he like Allen Iverson who's like, oh man, I think he's going broke?
Well, Allen Iverson didn't go broke. He did do Chapter 11, but he didn't go like.
Oh, that's true.
It's one of those things where he didn't go broke. He just went Chapter 11. Everybody thinks because he did Chapter 11, so everyone's like, oh, Allen Iverson went broke, and it's like. Yeah, but you watch him in interviews and you listen to him talking like other people. Like he's still rich. It's just he had.
I don't know what Chapter 11 is.
It's like something of your business. Like you have companies.
Yeah, because I know Trump has done Chapter 11 like 3-4 times, and he's still also, fucking rich as fuck.
Wealthy people have done it a bunch.
Yeah, it's a way to get. It's a way for wealthy people to get out of losing money.
Yeah, I don't think Allen, because everybody makes it out like Allen Iverson broke, but when this is me listening to like podcasts and things like that where they talk about him like on All the Smoke and all this stuff. It's like, oh, he's not. He's like still making money off that Reebok deal.
Damn.
You know, when he had his own shoe and all that. Which, of course, he still would be making money. That's like that money just stops. You know?
It's so interesting that all these NBA star players were just like cool with being made look a fool by a kid. Mm-hmm. So I didn't think that, just the competitiveness in them.
Yeah, the competitiveness, like, oh wow, they must all fuck with Little Bow Wow, because Little Bow Wow at the time is Little Bow Wow.
Yeah,
he's a person.
Yeah.
So all these grown adults were like, oh, it's Little Bow Wow.
It's Little Bow Wow. We'll do it. The NBA asked us to do it. Whatever. It's a kid. It is for kids. It's not like anyone's watching this. Like, Jason Kidd, you asshole.
Or you gonna let him?
Yeah.
You gonna let him turn you around and throw a bounce pass off your back?
Yeah.
What?
But it is funny to watch all these legends
Hall of Famers
forget how to play basketball.
Hall of Famers, bro. They literally showed Hall of Famer after Hall of Famer from Admiral on.
Yeah.
That are just getting mopped with.
Yeah. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, like Mike's great.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's Angels in the Outfield and
Air Bud
and Rookie of the Year. Probably a little worse than all those movies.
No, it's worse than all those movies,
yeah.
But that's why when you combine all those movies, you get like Mike.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of Captain Planet. They all combine to make something a little worse than themselves.
But still enjoyable.
Yeah, still enjoyable. And that's like Mike, everybody. Yeah. Beaners, this is your intermission right now.
Before we get into the episode you are here for, really quick, thank you for listening.
Yes,
we love you.
We do. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate and review this podcast on iTunes.
Please rate and review. That stuff matters. We could use the help, and we would appreciate it.
Yeah, tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it.
Tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it. You keep going back and listening to old episodes. That's how we know you love it. We appreciate that.
And, follow us on Instagram @SpoilTheBeans, and then you can find our individual Instagrams. We're linked on everything. Follow
Derek
us on
Poston, Sanamad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to Greg Scamato for making our theme music. If you want some more samples from him or maybe help from him, check out gregcanhelp.com.
Yep.
Yeah. And now back to your future presentation.
Hey, what's up, guys?
We're back.
We are back for another episode of Pardon My Vagina.
If you see the seating
oh my God, what is going on?
Yeah.
How about this? We'll pay the bills and we'll try that. We'll come back and you try it again, okay?
Yeah.
Right. But we'll do that because I can tell you struggled there, and I'll take over and you try that one more time.
Yeah.
Guys, if you like Instagram and if you like football players, oh my God, do I have some fun for you? You should go on your Instagram, on your phone, hit the search bar, type in Darren Bates. DarenBates. Darren Bates.
Wesleyan_son 56.
That's the name. You'll see a blue check mark. You'll see a fucking NFL friend of mine who sponsors this podcast.
Yep.
And that's what you're going to see. And you're going to follow him. And you're going to say the Bean sent you. And then you're going to go subscribe to his podcast, The Raw Room. And you're going to do these fucking things. Because you don't want no fucking smoke. You hear me, Beaners? You don't want no fucking smoke. You're going to go follow Darren Bates and you're going to say the Bean sent you. That's what you're going to fucking do. Because you love us. And we're a family. That's what I thought.
Follow Darren Bates. I'm afraid too.
Good.
Yeah.
Out of fear or out of love, I don't care how you get it done. Get it done.
Get it done.
Well, that is what they say, bro. They say, would you rather be, if you're a leader, would you rather be
feared or loved?
Feared or loved.
Oof.
And I say, in that situation, if I'm really a leader, like, you know, because people say it in regular life, and it's like, loved, obviously. But let's really talk about I'm a leader. Like, I'm a fucking, like, leader. Like I have to really run some shit. Game of Thrones shit. Loved. Still loved. But I'm not man enough to do fear.
Yeah, fear requires a level of strength that I do not possess either.
I don't possess. I pussy out. I'd be like, wait, I have to kill who? Oh man,
damn, we don't have to kill all the farmers,
all
right?
of them.
Yeah,
and they're like, but why? It's like, oh, because one of them said what?
Yeah.
So let's just kill that guy. And they're like, no, you have to kill all of them to prove a point. And I'm like, I don't have the stomach. I don't have the stomach. You know, but that's what you got to do. You got to kill it all because the one person said something. You got to show a fucking
show strength.
Yeah,
let them know. Cersei it.
That's why she's the best.
Yep.
She's the best. And Thanos.
Yeah, that's we had to read The Prince in college, and that's what they say.
Cersei's in that?
Machiavelli. That's what he says.
Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac. It's Tupac's 1400. The book he wrote in 1400s Italy. He's
Dude,
had a
that guy
long
does
career.
not die.
Yeah, he has a long career.
And he won't die.
Yeah, yeah.
But Machiavelli, that's one of his album names. So I was like,
yeah, because he read Machiavelli in prison, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what he says. Is like, man, it's better to be feared.
Yeah, I get it. If you're really doing it,
I think
if
I could be misquoting. It's been a while.
I think if you're really doing some leadership, like some real, like you run, not like a mayor, you pussies. Like, I'm talking about like Kim Jong-un.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
You run some shit.
You need fear to control.
You need fear, man. You need fear. I get it. Like, I get it, man. I get it. Or like also on TV.
That's
Real
why-
life, that's not cool.
Well, that's
Real
why-
life, not cool.
Yeah.
Fake life, totally cool.
Well, that's why. But on some real shit, that's why the media is always trying to scare you. They're trying to get some like way to control your life, right?
And they want me to buy toothpaste. It's like and like soap.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Well, that's how they're trying to control your life.
I know.
To make you consume.
It's crazy.
But-
It's like I'm gonna scare you, and then I'm also gonna be like, make sure you get Pizza
The scrub
Hut.
daddy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, well look at this shit's evil.
Mm-hmm. But like I was trying to say earlier, if you notice the seating arrangement, it's a motherfucking reverse episode, bitches.
That's what you were trying to say?
That's what I was trying to say.
I had no idea what you were trying to say.
Yeah, I was trying to say that, and you said, what did you say? Part of my vagina. Very kind of apt take for what this movie, you're about to hear.
Part of my vagina is a podcast that I'm creating.
Oh, really?
It's a play on Pardon My Take and a play on vaginas.
I don't know if it's a play on vaginas.
When you listen to it, you'll see. You just hear me talking to a sound.
But like partying in it.
Partying in it and getting into like sometimes like really political discussions and arguments.
Okay, and it's just.
Yeah, like one time the pussy walked out. Like you heard it. But you heard it like from a distance.
Yeah.
Still, like, you're like, oh wow, they're still arguing.
And the door slams.
The door slams.
Yeah.
Oh, it's real.
Yeah.
It's actually a pussy.
Yeah, it's listen to it on the Ringer.
Pardon my vagina. Brought to you by Blue Apron.
Derek.
That's my name. Don't you ever say it again.
Do me. Oh, hold on. Let me move this real quick. Wrote this in the wrong place.
Don't say my name though.
I will say your name. Can you tell me? Derek A.
Come on,
Poston.
man.
Derek.
You don't even know what the A stands for.
Allen Iverson Poston.
God damn it! You talked to my dad.
Yeah.
Derek. People know my middle name is Allen Iverson.
Yeah. Derek Arturo Poston.
Arturo Allen Iverson.
Yeah, Arturo.
God, you know too much.
Iverson Poston. Can you do me a favor?
I'll try, but I'm not good at them.
Can you tell me?
How can I say that?
Yeah.
But I'll try though. But I am not good at favors.
Can you tell me
I told you
what happens in the movie?
Maybe. I've seen a lot of movies.
You haven't seen this one.
That's bullshit.
I know you haven't.
How do you know?
We went. It's on the list of movies you haven't seen.
There's no list. This is all random. Every morning is a gamble.
Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
Dude, are you kidding me? I've seen that.
Okay, what's it about?
Oh, it's about four bros, and they
Okay.
go to Vegas because one of them's getting married.
Oh no! Okay. Already
Hold on.
you're describing The Hangover.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to tell you this much.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson and the Tiger come in at some point.
Again, sounds a lot like The Hangover. Tell me what you think happens in Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
Four bros don't go to Vegas?
No.
All right, I'm going to be honest. I might not have seen this.
Yeah.
If you're 100% positive four bros don't go to Vegas,
Yeah.
then my nigga, I might have missed this one.
Yeah. You know how else you know you haven't seen it?
How?
You didn't have a visceral reaction when I told you about the movie.
No.
Yeah.
My visceral reaction was, if this isn't about four bros going to Vegas, I'm in
No.
trouble.
This is not
Because
what
I know nothing about it.
I'll give you a hint before.
I don't want
start
any
your
hints.
Okay.
I'm good because I'm going to guess it right.
Okay.
Say the title again.
Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
Yo, I have to say the ending one more time. It's a long title.
Dear Zachary, a letter to his son about his father.
This is not the Iwo Jima.
No. Maybe.
The letter to Iwo
Could
Jima
be.
movie?
It could be.
The Clint Eastwood. Well, it's interesting because you didn't say that title.
Yeah. Who knows?
You said it could be. Well, that's weird because that's not the name you said.
Who knows?
All right,
Maybe.
Dear Zachary, a letter to my mom about.
A letter to a son about his father.
Dear Zachary, a letter to his son about his father.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, that's a mouthful.
Mm-hmm.
This must be a book. Can I guess that? Is it a book?
Give me your guess.
I'm guessing. Is it a? I mean, because it's not a book. Okay, it sounds like a book.
It's not a book.
Not a novel. Wow. Okay. Dear Zachary, a letter to his son about Iwo Jima. I'm never gonna remember this.
Yeah.
A letter to his, what is it?
A letter to his son about his father.
A letter to his son about his father.
A letter to a son about his father.
Oh, letter to a son. Okay, see,
son.
all this stuff matters.
Yeah,
Dear
letter
Zachary,
to a son about his father.
Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
Mm-hmm.
Movie starts.
Damn.
Movie starts, man writing a letter to his son.
Okay.
Okay, clearly.
Okay.
That's where it starts. Like you see the man writing the letter and you hear
Okay.
what he's saying. You overhear like what he's saying, like my son, as long as I have known you.
Okay, so he's Japanese.
No, he's American. This
Okay.
is just how he
Okay.
talks.
Okay.
As long as I have known you, you have been my Zachary. Zachary Galifianakis. And it is a movie about the hangover.
It's about the hangover.
It's not the hangover. I'm not gonna do that. It's he's it's an Asian dad for sure.
Okay.
And he's dear. No, it's not Asian.
Okay.
It's about Zachary. No, it's a white guy.
A white guy.
And he's writing a letter to his son. He's in war. I'm gonna go war.
Okay.
I don't want to go. I don't think this is a war film.
Okay.
But the father is in war.
Okay.
I don't think the movie has anything to do about war. But the father. That's a letter to his son about his father.
Okay.
And this kid is reading these letters from his dad, who is now deceased.
Okay.
But he's older reading these letters.
Okay.
And he's figuring, like through the letters, he's learning about his father, who his father was.
I like this. I like this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like it too. I'm subscribing. I'm like,
yeah,
ooh,
this is a good movie.
This is Oscar stuff here,
Yeah,
Derek. Keep going.
it could be. Like what you're saying is this is a good movie.
Yeah, and also it's coming of age story, but not rated R.
Okay.
Not PG-13
Okay.
even, PG.
Okay.
But like through these these amazing stories that his father's going through, that he's telling him through these letters that he's going through with war and through his childhood, he's connecting like with his own life through the things he's going through.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Okay.
just like that. It's just like a coming of age tale of this boy getting to know his father, through these letters, and also getting to know himself.
You know what's crazy?
What?
You described a completely different movie.
What movie did I describe?
On the list you haven't seen. So I'm not gonna say.
Was it The Hangover Part 2?
Definitely wasn't. You've seen The Hangover Part 2.
I know, but I don't remember.
You've also seen Hangover Part 1, so you've seen Hangover Part 2. You know what I mean?
that was a good one.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta give it to that was funny. I feel like I like the movie I described.
You described. Okay.
There's a bully in it.
There's again.
movie.
You described a completely different movie, and when you find out what movie that is, you're gonna laugh. But
Why wouldn't it be this movie considering the title?
I'll give you. This is spoil the beans. A lot of spoil the beans first happening right now. I'll give you one piece of information, and I'll let you re-guess.
That's crazy.
I know. This is a documentary.
What's it called?
Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father. It's our first documentary. Like I'm gonna hit him with the surprises in this reverse. We gotta end this season out strong.
This is the season ending.
This is the season ending. Yeah,
This is the season ending
Yeah.
episode for number 10. Season 10. This is 10 seasons.
I don't think this is season 10.
This is season 10.
Is this?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Well, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
How would it not make sense?
With 16 episodes a season, 10 seasons wouldn't be at 160. This has to be the end of season 9.
No, it's 10.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's 10.
It's 10?
Yep.
All right, we'll just say it's 10.
It's
The end of
10.
season 10. Well, we're ending fucking crazy. I'll tell you that right now.
So we do, if you're a beaner going, what the fuck are they talking about? Because you're new, because you came to see this documentary, because you like documentaries.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a movie podcast, and we split them up in 16 episodes.
Yeah.
Fucking get it together, you
Yeah.
fucking documentary nerd, and that's why you're here now.
What's the reason? No reason. That's what we do.
But we shame our listeners, so get on board.
Right.
So it's a documentary,
It's a documentary.
and it's not about Iwo Jima.
Well, what's your guess?
Well, I know you.
Okay.
I don't know anything about this documentary,
Okay.
but I know you,
Okay.
and I know you pretty well.
Okay.
Ahmad.
Okay.
So I'm gonna guess this documentary is about a goddamn serial killer.
Ooh.
I'm gonna guess
Ooh.
Dear Zachary is some famous motherfucking crazy fuck who fucks cats in the ass and eats them, and his dad wrote a letter about it. And I'm gonna guess you're about to fuck me in the asshole and my brain with some serial killer shit. That's what I'm gonna guess. And I'm gonna guess. It's a serial killer, and he writes a bunch of letters to his son. The documentary is like from the letters that he wrote his son while he was in prison. and you find out all about the fucking killings he did, and it's like fucking crazy. That's what I think the documentary is about.
That's interesting.
I think that'd be a pretty cool serial killer.
That would be a cool documentary. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be a pretty dope serial killer actually to
like
lay it all out.
Yeah, he lays it out, but just for his son, and like his son makes a documentary. And it's like, whoa, it's crazy.
Right.
Am I right?
No.
How much?
It's some aspects. I'll give you
out of 100. How much?
If I would have mixed both your guesses together, I'll give you like 10-15%.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking good. On 2 tests?
I went
15F?
Yeah. I went into this film exactly like you. I knew nothing. I came across it my freshman year of college. We were talking about how I don't watch movies with another friend. And like, do you watch any documentaries? Like, I can't really think of any good documentaries I've seen on the head. And he was like, you got to watch this documentary.
Okay.
And I watched it.
This is your freshman year. So you are 18.
I am 18. And it...
Have you seen it since?
I've seen it. I saw it with another group of friends who wanted to watch it, but they wanted to watch it with me, and I don't know why I did that to myself again. But I sat and I watched it with them, so I watched it twice the year, and then I watched it twice leading up to this thing.
So you've seen it a lot.
Seen it a lot. It is are you ready for a fucking movie?
How long is it?
Hour 30.
Oh, wow. They kept it pretty tight.
They kept it pretty tight.
Documentaries are long.
Mm-hmm. The guy did a good job of telling the story. So, it starts with the logo.
Can I ask what company? HBO?
MSNBC Films.
MSNBC.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right.
Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that pops up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting HBO.
Open on right. It's at any point too. Just feel free to ask me questions. What's happening on the screen?
Well, yeah, it's not a movie.
It's like it's very fast paced. It's like doing a documentary. It's like, oh, this is a little tough. So you open and you see writing on a paper, and it says, "Dear Zachary, your father was," and then a smash cut to a bunch of people talking about this guy's father. He was charismatic.
Luckily, I know the pacing of documentaries, so I know that. So you don't have to worry about that. Like, it ain't like you have a movie where it's like, oh, I have to get on the pacing of this movie.
Right.
They're all the same. Like, right when you said smash cut and a bunch of people talking, I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it's a fucking documentary. I already know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to go through, I think, easier.
I'll be able to go through
because I'm already with you. I'm already like, oh, it's a documentary.
And really, like I said, it's so many smash cuts to so many people
of course.
that you're only going to know a few of the people.
But I'll answer the questions that'll fill in the blank.
Yes. So, and they're saying he's charismatic. He was opinionated. I have to say he was a short, but he was a giant of a man. There's a lot of people saying nice things about him.
About Zachary.
No, Dear Zachary, your father was about Zachary's father.
Okay.
Right. Saying nice things about him. One of them was like, "Do I have to say nice things, or can I say the not so nice things?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then you see this one lady. She's she goes, "Your father, he was just so intelligent, and he was just so." She starts crying. Cut to a man on a couch.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Will I recognize anyone?
Yes. No. Yeah, this is Michelle. This is our second Michelle Pfeiffer movie.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh God. Get the last while we can.
Okay. Oh my God! What the fuck are you about to do to me?
Yeah. We got to a man on the couch.
Okay.
A man on the couch, and he's just so his baby's in his lap, like his little kid. His little kid is in his lap, right?
It's also because these are real people.
These are real people. These are all real people.
These are all real shots. Like I'm seeing it in my head as real shots.
Real shots, and these are all real emotions.
Yeah, not a fucking scene. I'm talking about a still shot of a guy sitting, looking in the camera, talking.
Yeah, and this guy is pretty much just weeping.
Okay.
Just crying.
Are these people white?
Yes, everyone's white.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, this is a story about white people.
Do I know where yet or no? Does that come into play?
That'll come into play.
Okay.
So the cut to them, he's weeping, and the baby goes, "Why are you sad?" And the guy goes, "I'll tell you about it one day," right? And so now the screen cuts to a picture of this nice-looking guy with a smile on the table, kind of chubby. That picture that we used for James Schrader and the Quran sketch, where it's one of those pictures that looks like an about an author type thing.
Yeah, about an author picture.
Yeah, like a coffee mug. He's just sitting there
in the back of a book. Yeah.
Yeah, and you hear the guy crying to his kid go, "Do you know who this is? Andrew. You know who Andrew is? I don't know. Why did Andrew get killed? Because someone hurt him, right?
Someone hurt him?
Someone hurt him.
Heard or hurt?
Okay. Hurt. So we cut to a footage of Andrew giving a toast at a wedding. Right, Andrew, the Zachary's father. You're giving a toast at a wedding, and everyone's laughing.
When you say cut to, do you mean like old video footage?
It's old video footage.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
yeah, it's old. So every time I talk about seeing Andrew, you're seeing old video footage.
That's what I wanted to make sure.
Old pictures.
Because that's what I was seeing, but I wanted to make sure.
This whole movie is just filled with that.
Not a movie.
This whole documentary is filled with that. Yeah. And you hear a voice, where were you when you found out? And you see a woman sitting on a couch with an older woman sitting on a couch with a man. And she's British. She loves talking to Melanie. And she was like, oh, you have to call the Sunnyvale Sheriff's Office. So I called her, and, I called the police, and they were like, are you Kathleen Bagby? And she said, I say yes. And you have to call the coroner's office in Pennsylvania. You got some bad news, right? So she calls the coroner's office. And the officer goes, your son is dead under mysterious circumstances. Do you have any idea why he was in the park? Murdered? Yes. And I called David, and I told him Andrew's dead. And he said, no, and he threw the phone.
It's crazy you're doing the voices because these are real people, and they really dealt with a murder.
Yeah, they really dealt with a murder.
And it's like you're doing it like this is something Scorsese wrote.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to do the accent for the first part just to hammer in that she's British, but I'm definitely going to lose it over time. There's no way I can keep doing it. I don't have that in me. So you see like, David and Kathleen, Andrew's parents, talking, and they're talking about like, we went on the plane, and you see, like the camera's like of the camera getting on a plane. You know what I mean? The camera sometimes describes what they do. So they said David says the plan is to fly to California, to Pittsburgh, to pick up his body.
The plan is or was?
The plan was to fly to California.
I was like already like it's gotta be was, right?
Yeah. The plan was to fly from California to Pittsburgh, to pick up his body, bring it back to Sunnyvale, where they are.
Yeah, Sunnyvale, California.
Yeah, and kill themselves. That's the plan. So Andrew is their only son. They don't know how life can go on without him. That's how they feel. That's how they feel at the moment.
So these are the two parents. Their son's dead.
Yes.
Was murdered.
Yes.
And these two parents are going to kill themselves.
Mm-hmm. That's the plan. That's just their original reaction to the murder. This is what we're going to do. And then it's again like a cut to all the different people that Kathleen and David told that day, and their reaction to hearing that Andrew's dead, like all his friends, all his family. And while that's happening, in the background, faintly, like superimposed over it, is like a rock falling into water and then a ripple.
Okay.
So you see the ripple of like the people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then now we hear the narrator speak for the first time. I came home November 7th, 2001, with a message from my sister. She said, you better sit down. Now cut to the screen a bunch of like newspaper articles that say physician found dead, shot 5 times, 28 years old. We met in the first grade at St. Andrew's School in Saratoga, California.
That's where you're from.
I did not remember this when I watched it, and then so after he says this, it's just a smash cut of a bunch of places where I grew up. And that was a little bit wild. So we grew up in the Silicon Valley.
But you never heard of this still till you got out of college.
No. Because the main, so you'll see. Saratoga, we grew up in the suburbs of the Silicon Valley, and this is where most of his childhood friends are, And then just a bunch of interview with his childhood friends. I met him in 2nd grade. I can say we, without shame, we bathed together, just different friends. He was my first friend. We met in school because our names were similar, and I thought this dude was cool. And then the last person you see is this lady named Heather, Andrew's former fiance, And she says, he's a good guy. You and me together, we might be able to put together a half-decent story. Mm-hmm. And then there was me. This is the narrator again. Then there was me. My name is Kurt. I'm a filmmaker. And Andrew appeared in every movie that I made when we were growing up. And then it's just a bunch of cuts from different scenes of Andrew in his homemade kids movies.
Okay.
And I will say this: you're watching this, and you're like, if a 15-year-old made this, this is good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You see Andrew in all these movies, right? He appeared in every movie. He loved playing bad guys, and you see, more scenes where Andrew's the bad guy, and he loved it because it was a free pass to smoke and curse in front of his parents. And because Andrew was more like a goody two-shoes kid, he was an Eagle Scout. But his parents were cool, and eventually they got in on my movies too. So then you see videos of scenes of David and Kathleen in Kurt's movies and the narrator's movies, and they're like swearing and they're slapping kids. They're like in the movies, right? And I know it wasn't perfect, and I drove you nuts, and then a bunch of cuts to Kurt saying, "Okay, let's shoot it one more time, and Andrew getting annoyed.
Yeah, but real footage of this.
Yeah, real footage. All this is real footage.
I know. That's what I'm like, wow, this is like really fucked up. Get to the fucked up part. Get there.
But despite all this, he always supported me. And you see a picture of a check that says $2,000. He said he even invested in my first feature film while he was saving to go to medical school. The boys. At his memorial service, I found out from his friend in college that he liked photography.
How old was he when he died?
28 years old.
I think it's our age.
Yep. At his memorial service, his friend from college told me he liked photography, and I had no idea. What else didn't I know about him? I was never going to visit him at the hospital to see him being a doctor. I was never going to be at his wedding where I would meet his extended family. And he was never going to tell me anything about him I didn't already know. So I was going to travel the world and talk to everyone who loved him to get to know him, to learn everything and make one last movie with him. I have no idea how many years it would take or when this would end, but I had to do it. So I started in California, and he's talking to all his friends growing up. How would you?
Does anyone know who killed him? We haven't even talked about that.
No, we haven't got there yet. We definitely haven't got there yet. So I started in California. How would I describe Andrew to someone who never met him? Just he's interviewing a bunch of people, you know. And so while this interview is happening, you see Andrew tell a story about
on camera,
on camera, about him burning down this forest. So it's smash cuts of people talking in between smash cuts of him telling the story.
Okay.
Right? And so the story is about how he burned down this wilderness and he's trying to get the fire department to come, but he keeps getting an answering machine. Right? And then his friends are going, he never wore pants. He always wore shorts. He was a very good pool player. He would bite his fingernails. He wanted to be a doctor because his mom was a doctor. And you find out in the first year he didn't get an offer from med school. So he got a job, worked hard, applied again. His mom brings home an application for Memorial University in St. John's, Newfoundland in Canada. It's the east coast of Canada.
Uh-huh.
All right? Andrew gets accepted. Right? And then you hear his a speech from his graduation. For the land of California, Andrew Bagby came to Newfoundland and set the wilderness aflame. And so the whole story is about the first time he was in Newfoundland and actually set a part of the bay on fire.
He did?
Yeah, he did. And it's a
how did he accidentally do that?
It's somehow. They don't get to how he started it.
Smoking weed.
Probably, maybe. You know, doing some college, doing some 18-year-old boy shit.
You smoking weed,
yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, you put that shit out and just didn't pay attention. And set California on fire.
Newfoundland. He's in Newfoundland.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. But I will say this, by the way he finishes the story, it's like, oh, this guy can tell a story. He knows how to tell stories. He can keep people's attention. He's like one of those people. Mm-hmm. So at that time, he's engaged to this lovely girl.
He was a real human being that died.
He's a real human being that died, yes. He's engaged to a lovely girl. Things are looking good. All right. Now the narrator. Okay, before we go further, you got to know the truth. Here it is. So cut back to the dad talking about a couple policemen took us to the hospital in Pittsburgh. We see a gurney with a white sheet over the body. We went over him. We saw his face, and we're like, it's really him. We kissed him. It's fucked up. Kate kissed him. A plug came out because he had been shot in the left cheek. And so she picks it up and puts it back in. And then...
What do you mean a plug came out?
So when you get shot, so they plug up the bullet holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready. I'm now.
Yeah, the plug came out. She put it back in.
Yeah.
Right. The video of the parents crying. So obviously the parents in the interview start crying.
Of course.
And you see the autopsy report on the screen. And the dad... You see the
dad... So
he
got shot?
He got shot. Yes. The dad gets mad. You know, after that, I lost it. I ran outside and I screamed. I was so fucking mad I couldn't see straight. God damn, I hate it. I didn't even know who I hated. I just fucking hate it. I just know someone put him there, and whoever it was a goddamn monster.
Yeah.
Now you see a picture of Andrew. He's at like a bar with like a funny thing on his head, right?
Okay. Picture, not a video.
No, just a picture. A still picture.
Still picture.
Right. You see...
I'm trying to crack this case also.
Yes.
So that's why I need all my evidence.
Yes. You hear the same father and baby from earlier. You know, the father that was weeping, talking to his kid?
Yeah.
And the kid goes, who hurt him? A very bad person. Which bad person? Now, on the picture you see, fade in a picture of a woman leaned up against him. Also in in the Halloween costume. And the guy goes, a lady. What's her name? Shirley. And then on the screen, you see a picture of the woman in the picture next to, like a different picture of the woman in the picture next to him, and the words Dr. Shirley Turner.
This bitch.
Oh. So now we hear, I
already know this bitch did it.
Every time you hear the name Shirley and Shirley's talking, it's through a recording.
Because she's in jail.
So, the first recording.
I know who did it.
The first recording you hear is, oh man, look at you thinking you know some shit.
I know this. I know this story.
You know some shit. Right. So, you hear the sheriff's office calling, is this Dr. Shirley Turner? Yes. Right? Cut to a college friend talking about, I could never figure out who she was to Andrew. because he talked a lot about women, but he never really mentioned Shirley. And then his ex-fiance comes
She was some pussy. Yeah. She was just some side pussy, nigga. What you mean? Why am I talking about her? I'm so mad at this fucking side pussy. Yo, Steve McNair and now my nigga, whoever, Andrew.
I would say Shirley is more than side pussy. There'd be other women mentioned, I feel.
Shirley ain't shit. Shirley some pussy. You're a hole, Shirley. And that's what you always gonna be.
Ex-fiance talks about, so you see the ex-fiance comes out and talks about, I'm so happy he was dating again because it was hard after we broke up. And it was like, okay, maybe he has someone he can finally talk to and confide and just be happy with, you know.
Andrew.
Yeah, his ex-fiance. It's like I was happy for him, and then back to the phone recordings, right? The detective goes, you know, where are you from? How'd you meet Andrew? We met in medical school in Canada. It's like, oh, we're from Canada. You're from Canada? Yeah. And then another classmate goes, she kind of appeared out of nowhere and then was just there all the time, and she didn't really seem right for him. And the recording, detective says, did you consider yourself boyfriend and girlfriend? Shirley says no. Back to the classmates. There was a considerable age difference.
Detective.
Yeah.
Detective. Shirley did it. We know you did it, bitch.
There was a considerable age difference. And when he told us, we were like, oh, taken aback. Back to the recording. So I'm 40. Shirley says, I'm 40. He's 28. And 40 also.
You old pussy. That's why you're mad. Because you're old and you can't have kids and he's never going to settle with you. You can't birth anymore. Useless.
And that's to all the 40-year-old women who listen to this.
Well, no, the ones who kill my homies.
Yes, that's fair. To all the 40-year-old women that kill our homies, fuck you.
Yeah.
So you find out in the recording too, she has 3 kids, all with different last names, twice divorced.
She has 3 kids with all different last names.
Twice divorced.
So she's a fucking hoe. She's literally been on Maury.
Oh, bad. I wouldn't be surprised. Back to the classmates. She's
a doctor too?
Yeah.
I get doctors can be hoes.
Everyone is crazy. Everyone can be hoes. Everyone can be crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doctors could be fucking stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, back to the classmates. She seemed incongruous with someone that I saw him with. Like, I never really pictured her with a guy like him. No, incongruous. So, like, it doesn't really match up.
Okay.
Yeah, with someone who I saw met with. Like, I guess there was some sign she was a psycho. She made inappropriate comments all the time.
Well, that's me.
All the time, like too far, but she never seemed threatening, but something was kind of off.
That's definitely me.
Yeah. And the ex-fiance, back to the ex-fiance, she started calling me on a regular basis and talked forever, and then she would share really crude, intimate things about their relationship. I thought it was just really weird. Right. And you see one of his coworkers, when he's a doctor, he's like sort of sitting in front of a bed. You see him a lot. That's why he's a bed guy. That's what I call him. He goes, yeah, I thought it was odd she wasn't a practicing doctor. She finished her residency years ago, but then she never went on to practice. She just sort of, you know what residency is, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
I saw Scrubs.
Fair. Yeah, she did that part, but didn't go on to do the doctor part. She just didn't get work.
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. And then their friends are like, we would talk to Andrew about it, about how, you know, we thought she was a loft, but at the same time, Andrew was very homesick. He was really far away from home. He was devastated out of his previous relationship, which left him vulnerable. And he was really deprecating. Like we would tell Andrew, like, hey, Andrew, you can do better. And he would be like, no, I can't. You know, and then so we were like, well, he's going through a tough time and he has someone who's around and comforts him. Maybe it's not so bad. Right? Back to the recording. Shirley says, we didn't have a commitment or big future plans. We do date other people. Back to the narrator. After graduation, Andrew did a surgery residency in Syracuse, New York. He hated it. Shirley also decided to move to the States to practice.
Okay.
She moves to Council Bluffs, Iowa.
Been there.
Mm-hmm. Andrew's mom, so Kathleen, we weren't very aware of the situation in Syracuse and what a problem she had become for him. Mm-hmm. Shirley, recording of Shirley. We had this long distance kind of get together sometimes things.
They're just fucking, dude.
Kind of get together sometime thing, right? But we get from his friends that she's pestering him. Like, she's always calling him, and she's always like she's just all up in his business, and that's tough for him because he also hates the residency he's in Syracuse.
Okay. Mm-hmm. He's in New York now.
Yeah. So he moved on from surgery because he hated it, the Syracuse thing, and he moved to a family practice residency in Latrobe, Pennsylvania in 2001.
Been there.
Yep, right? Everyone. and he loved it there. And it was sort of clear he wanted Shirley to go away, right?
He's trying to get rid of this pussy.
Right, yes. So the dad, he did not invite her to Pennsylvania. He says that. And then you see there's a wedding in Pennsylvania with one of his friends, right? And Shirley isn't invited. And that morning of the wedding, Andrew's cell phone rings, right? And, you know, he goes, why are you calling? Hangs up. Rings again. Dude, what, you fucking crazy? Stop calling me. Hangs up. You're being crazy, bitch.
Get into it with a bitch. Wait, this is all on camera, though?
That's not on camera. That is being told by his dad.
Because he saw it. He saw it. He's like, I saw him going off on this stupid fucking crazy bitch.
Yes.
Hell yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. And she left 30. She ended up leaving 30 messages, right?
Dude, I know Shirley.
I mean,
these bitches are real and they're crazy and they're 40.
And yeah, I get what you mean. Shirley, recording of Shirley. We are very close. That's what she says. Talking about his friend about the day of the wedding. His phone rang 30 times. His home phone rang 30 times. His cell phone rang 30 times. And every time he pick up, he go, oh, it's her. Recording of Shirley. We loved each other very much.
She loved him. She was pussy. Steve McNair, dude. I've seen this go down.
Yeah.
They took away one of the best quarterbacks.
This is how it happens. Yeah. I would say maybe for a while he thought maybe this is more than just pussy, but I think he realized like, okay, I can't be with this woman.
Yeah, it's just, but you're like not thinking anything of it. You're just like, oh, I'm just not gonna.
Right.
I'm just gonna fade into the distance, baby.
Right. Yeah.
And then you meet a person that's like, no fading.
Yeah.
We'll both fade away. And it's like, oh, this is okay. Who wanted this?
As our fellow door guy friend Dave Waite says, he was gonna sunset her, just fade into the distance.
What?
That's one of his jokes.
It's a terrible joke. Hey, Dave Waite, that's fucking horrible.
Well, I tried to give you a shout out. Never mind.
No, he still got the shout out. I like Dave Waite, but that joke is garbage, man.
I mean, clearly he set it up differently.
No. Yeah. That's how you set it up, and you say it with his emphasis and his voice, and you're terrible.
I'm sorry, Dave. I didn't mean for this to happen.
Dave, you fucking set up.
No, Dave,
I like Dave. I like Dave.
So you find out that he went to a wedding earlier with her, right?
Yeah.
And his friends are talking about you. So you see video of them at the wedding at the dance floor, and she's just all over him, like all over him. And you can kind of tell she won't let him leave the dance floor.
But this is real video footage.
This is real video.
But he's into it.
Not really.
I mean, like he's like not like get the fuck away from me. Obviously,
no.
Like he's not like causing a scene like. Woo, 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 bad bitch, like crazy, like get away from me.
Right, you can kind of see a little bit of a pushover, I'd say. You can see sort of that because he's not feeling her at all. You can see in his face he's not feeling her.
But he's not doing anything to stop this.
No.
He's not like doing anything physical.
No,
or at least you know what I'm saying, where it's like,
or like
physical, like away.
He'll try to slightly push her away, and then he'll pull her back. She'll pull her back, him back in, and that'll be sort of it.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, not like where it's like clearly you're like, oh, he was trying to get away.
Right.
It's not that.
No.
Okay. Brother, you gotta make a fucking.
And the friends are talking about how like he had kind of broken up with her in his mind about a month ago.
Of course,
but he just
hadn't done it in the real world yet.
Yeah, hadn't done it. So that's the energy he gives off.
I think that's very human.
Yes, it's very human, and it's like I'm not gonna do this on a dance floor at someone else's wedding.
Yeah, I'm just gonna wait, but I know what in my head what's going on.
I know what this is.
Yes,
right. So on the afternoon of November 3rd, 2001, he broke up for Shirley for the last time at the airport in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Wow, right after 9/11.
Yeah, like 2 months.
I mean, that's heavy for her.
Yeah.
That probably broke her, bro. You gotta, give it some time. Give it some time, man.
She's Canadian. How much did it really affect her?
Yeah, you're right.
She was probably like, oh, damn, that's sad, but she probably didn't feel it the same way.
No, the only people if the way we felt it, and then the way people in Mexico felt it, and then the way people over in Europe were celebrating, so they felt it too.
I mean, it's our Christmas for a reason.
I like that you let me just say Mexico.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass Mexico. I'm just be like, what?
Why would they feel it?
Why would they feel it?
It's funny if they did.
If they felt it, yeah.
If they had a bunch of like country songs about it after, it's like what? Yeah, country Mexican songs about 9/11.
About 9/11, about how they remember and.
Por todo remembro.
Yeah.
911.
911.
What the fuck? How do we get here? We're talking about this, and I'm into it.
Yeah.
This bitch is about to kill my nigga Andrew.
Yeah. Well.
And I see it coming. I see the bullet coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Too bad he didn't.
November. Oh, he truly didn't. November 5th. So this is 2 days afterwards. So he sends her off to the plane November 3rd, 2001. November 5th, 2001. He gets a knock on his door. She's on his doorstep.
Oh my God! Remember the 5th of November.
Yes, she's very into Guy Fawkes.
Dude,
yeah.
I mean that's a bad day.
That's a bad day. Horrible day. Yeah. She shows up on his doorstep at 5:30.
Steve McNair.
Right. We cut to his friend, the bed friend, the guy sitting in front of the bed, and he goes, "Do not meet this chick in private. There is something clearly way off."
His homie says this.
Yeah, his homie says something clearly way off, and Andrew's like, "Come on, man. Well, what can happen?"
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna get into it with. I'm probably gonna fuck her, and then she'll leave and whatever.
Yeah. Let's have some beer after. Let's have some beer after I get off, and we'll talk about this. And the friend is like, "All right, when do you want to talk?" And Andrew goes, "Well, I get off at 4:30. I meet her at 6, and I'll be at your place at 7:30."
Yeah, it's enough time to fuck.
Yeah.
I know what he's doing, bro.
Things you should know about Andrew. The friend in front of the bed says he's never late, and when Andrew didn't show up at 7:30, something was very wrong. Right. Next day.
Damn, this would have been me. You didn't even thought about it. That I wasn't there. It's about at 7:30. You'd have been like, "Oh, Derek's just late."
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been till like 8. You'd have been like,
"No,
wait."
It would have been till the following morning. They'd be like, "Okay, he didn't say anything now." Then I would have been like,
right, because I ghosted. No, you'd have called me. Me telling you, "Hey, meet me somewhere at 7:30." I don't show up. It's like 8:39. You gonna be like, I think that's when you'd be like,
I will say this.
If I ghosted you.
I will say this. It depends on what age. If we're talking now, like 24 to now, Derek, I would call you at 8:30. If we're talking when I first met you, Derek, I'd be like, Derek's just off doing something.
Yeah, you're right. No, first met you, Derek. I think you're right because it would be like, oh, it's really weird he ghosted me, but I'm not gonna worry about it till tomorrow morning.
Yes,
and I would feel the same way about you. I would. I'd be like, oh, that's weird. He ghosted me. He usually doesn't do that, but I'll call him. And then tomorrow morning, you're not answering me. I'd be like,
something's up.
Yeah, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Because I expected he'd call me, like, oh, you got some pussy.
Right.
Yeah, which is why you would think I wouldn't answer. I respect that. You're right.
Yes.
I can see. But now that we're grown, yeah, you'd be like, yo, this nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah. Now that
I'm weird. He said 7:30.
Yeah,
he's
now that
not
I'm
here.
not 21 anymore. I'm like, yeah. You tell your friends if you tell your friends you're gonna be there at 7:30.
That's too specific of a time.
Yeah.
If my friend called me and said, hey, I'm gonna be at your place 7ish, now I know there's a big wide range here.
But I will say this: if you had told me, hey, I'm gonna meet this crazy girl who drove all this way and that I already didn't trust, that you were meeting her alone at 6 and then you didn't show up at 7:30, I might be like...
Now you might be a little nervous.
I might be a little nervous.
Because if you already had it in your head, like, man, I don't trust this bitch yet.
Yeah.
Oh, like on some crazy shit, I don't trust this bitch.
Yes. Then I would be nervous. Then I, like, maybe not, he's nervous immediately when he's not there at 7:30. By 8, I'd be like, okay, something might be up.
Something bad happened.
Yeah. So, but he's immediately like, something's up.
Because your stomach, That's if his stomach was like, oh, something bad happened, then he knew, something bad happened.
Something bad happened. Mm-hmm.
Because your stomach, bro, your gut be right, fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. November 6th, 2001. The next day.
Oh, Andrew gone.
The next day. Andrew doesn't show up for morning report for the residency.
Bro, I know why.
Right? His friends call his house, no answer. No answer on the cell phone. All the residents, everyone's feeling it. Everyone's like, what is going on? Why is Andrew not here? Mm-hmm. Right? If everyone's stomach feels it, something's fucking up.
Yep.
Right? They see on the news, that they hear from the ER docs that they found a body in scrubs in the park. And all the residents are congregated on the TV waiting for news, and the head resident comes in. The head of the residency comes in and tells them Andrew Bagby is dead. And his friend in front of the bed, who you were supposed to meet earlier, said...
Hold on.
Yeah.
I just got to know him.
And I will say this. I
just got to know him, and he sounds like a cool guy.
In the movie, you see.
This is not a movie.
In the movie, you see all his.
This is not a movie.
In this documentary, fine. Yeah.
This is a human being who was in 3rd grade at one point.
Yeah, it's a documentary movie. Documentary
monster.
Film. But you see him. You see all these videos. You see so much video of him and so many pictures.
It's a documentary. I believe it. I'm not, dude. I know. That's why I feel bad because we're not talking about. Oh, and then Leonardo comes out the elevator. Bang! You know what I mean? We can do a funny joke about it.
Right.
No, this is like a real person. This is Steve McNair, man. It's like, oh, that sucks. This happened.
It's real.
God, Shirley, you bitch. Let's get to you. Let's bring you down.
So you see his friend in front of who's sitting in front of the bed.
Dad kills this bitch. I hope he does. I don't give a fuck. If the dad kills this bitch, I don't even care. Kill that bitch.
You see the bed friend go, well, you don't have to look far. You know who was supposed to meet earlier, and then the recording of Shirley talking to the cop going, "Are you calling me? Is this involving Andrew?" "Yes, Shirley, I have to tell you that Andrew's dead." "Are you sure?" Oh, his parents don't know. Make sure his mom is with his dad when you tell him, pretending to care like a heartless bitch.
Yeah, unless she didn't do it.
Dad.
Unless she didn't do it.
Dad.
Hold up, did she not do it?
Dad.
Oh, shit. The dad did it?
Summary of the evidence against Shirley Turner.
Nigga, she didn't do it. You gonna fuck me up. Go ahead.
Narrator. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Don't tell me anything. Just fuck me in the butt.
Narrator said.
Don't talk about it. Just get it in there.
Narrator. He was found on the morning of Tuesday, November 6th. Found lying behind his car in Keystone Park. A man walking through the park.
Where's that? What city is that?
That's Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
A man walking through the park at 6:10 saw his car parked next to an SUV. Saw Andrew's car parked next to the SUV. At the time, Shirley was driving a Toyota 4Runner SUV. Right. He was shot 5 times, and this is where the narrator starts crying. Right. In the face, in the necks, in the chest, twice in the buttocks, once in the back of the head.
She tried to get away at one point. In the buttocks.
In the buttocks. Or
he had to try to
Yeah, he was running away at
some point. He had to.
Crawling away.
Or unless she flipped him over, it was like, and 2 in the butt.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he was trying to get away.
And then she got him in the head.
Yeah, that was definitely the finishing blow. It was execution style, you know? He also received blunt trauma to the head. So she also got whacked in the back of the head. I assume by the gun, I would assume. Right? Sort of this special .22 caliber bullet, like the special kind of bullet, like he names the exact type of ammo, and five spent shell casings on the ground and 1 live casing on the ground. Shirley owned a .22 caliber handgun. So the officer goes, "I'm not going to kid you, Shirley, the recording. I'm not going to kid you, Shirley. I'm interested in the gun. You bought a gun not too long ago." Shirley's like, "Yeah, I have it for protection and safety, and I decided to be safe, too, to take classes." Narrator. She was taking shooting classes, and her instructor said she was using the exact same bullets that were found at the scene. The instructor said the gun also malfunctioned time to time and would eject live casings onto the ground.
Nigga. Got him. Got him.
Sheriff, recording of the sheriff. "Would you be willing to turn the gun into your local police department?" Shirley says yes. But then, all of a sudden, can't find it. Doesn't know where the gun is.
Shirley.
Yes. Right?
Yeah, because she threw it away.
She's like, "Oh, it's in my home. It's in my bedroom in the car," right? So.
She's Aaron Hernandez did.
Yeah. She got
your wife to throw it away.
To throw it away, and you're secretly gay and all that sort of thing. Yeah, what's crazy is that at the time Shirley was signed to a 3-year, $62 million deal with the Patriots.
God, I remember her for her Florida years, really.
Yeah, well, she was with Tebow, and it was pretty wild.
It was awesome.
So she tells the police that she was sick at home in Chicago, and she was sick at home in Chicago at the time.
Yeah.
Right. But phone records prove that was impossible. She's making calls to Latrobe, then she's logged onto eBay from his home computer, and then made calls all the way back. So she changed her story to she gave the gun to Andrew in the parking lot, and he put the gun in the trunk. Right. And you see the recording of Shirley going, "I'm trying to be as honest as I can." Right? And you just hear from the story, she's kind of clearly making the story up as she goes along, but the cop is super patient with her because she's a white lady.
No, he's a cop, too.
Yeah.
That's how they do that. I mean, every time I watch any kind of... I like when they walk them down. When the cops just kind of walk them down. You know what I'm saying? I like when they do that.
So...
You feel me or no? Is he not doing that? Is he not doing that?
It doesn't feel like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know
when they're off camera, they're like, "I was gutting that motherfucker," and you're like, it's like, whoa, they were so vicious yet so calm.
Yeah.
It's not that situation. But you know what I'm talking about when you see them do that?
I know what you're talking about. This could be that, but there's also a feeling of like, because I've seen interviews where they walk people down.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah, it's like maybe they're doing that. They might be, but it's also the vibe and the energy is like.
Not that.
And the energy around her Shirley is just always off. It's always weird.
Okay.
I'll just say that.
But you don't trust the cops a little bit.
I don't trust any authorities in this fucking story.
Okay, give it to me then, Bob. Give it to me now.
The dad said she planned this murder. That's what you see the dad goes. She planned this murder. And so while the cops are manually checking the cell towers to corroborate her story, which at the time took 2 weeks, Shirley leaves the States and goes back to St. John's, Newfoundland.
Out of the country.
Out of the country.
So now you can't touch her anyway.
The dad goes, "We were absolutely helpless for a whole time in Latrobe. His friends took turns, but his friends were great. They had shifts at the office to come and check up on them, and they took dinners with them, and they had the whole hospital mourned together, right?" And you see the different memorial services they had for Andrew. They had one in England, they had one in Latrobe, they had one in St. Louis, and they had one in California. They had 4 different ones, right? And you see Kurt, the filmmaker, the narrator, make a eulogy to his parents. All of our friends, we all grew up under your roof. In one way or another, you raised us. We are your children, and we still love you. And we want to remember that. We want you to remember that every night when you go to sleep and every day when you wake up.
That's nice.
And on the screen, you see a bunch of clocks that his friends have given. You see a couple clocks that Andrew's friends had given to his parents.
Okay.
And at the bottom of the clock is engraved, "You still have children."
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. So
what the fuck happens in this story, though?
Oh, man.
Shirley, I can't feel emotional till I know what's going on.
Shirley was at the Newfoundland service, right? And she's crying and making a show.
Wait, their parents are there, though?
No, parents are not at Newfoundland. I don't think.
So how come she's there?
Because that's where she... Remember?
No, I'm saying, how come the people who are there mourning Andrew aren't mad at her?
No, they're mad. They're mad at her. So
they still just letting her be there.
Well, I mean,
Get the fuck out of here. You murdered him. Get the fuck out. I'll kill you. That's my reaction. That is my reaction. Is no one reacting that way?
No, I think everyone's just very shocked that she's there.
Yeah, I gotta kill this bitch.
Yeah.
She murdered you?
She
murdered you, my homie.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. And she just shows up to Cupertino.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, dude. Oh, you gotta go. I feel like your mom would agree.
Right.
Like, hey, Derek, kill that bitch.
Yeah.
Totally kill that bitch.
Well, there is one caveat to that. You'll find out in a little bit.
What?
All right. Hold on for a second. Okay. So, she's crying, making a loud show.
On camera.
Yes. She's on. You see her on camera.
Is she hot?
She's
40.
She's 40. And a hard 40.
She lived. All 40 of those years, she got him on her face.
Yeah, she's not hot. She must have had some bomb-ass pussy, though. I don't know.
I mean, crazy pussy's good pussy.
Yeah. So she's crying, making a loud show. Then she goes up to the ex-fiance and just starts saying awful and mean things to her. Like you are definitely not important in his life. And she sent the fiance an email saying that now it's beautiful that their love will never die now because he's dead. And that means their love can't die because whatever. Some just psycho bitch shit. The family tries to invite Shirley back to the
States to arrest her.
The States to arrest her, and that fails. But the authorities in Newfoundland arrest her, and she gets charged.
Oh, they're with America like that?
It's extra. They have extra. That's why when criminals, that's why they say go to Mexico when you commit a crime because there's no extradition treaty.
That's why people go to Mexico.
That's why people go to Mexico. There's extradition treaties between Canada and the U.S. in terms of giving criminals back and forth.
Canada. What about other places?
And other places too.
But not every place.
Not every place.
So that's why people go to certain places.
That's why Edward Snowden went to Russia.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. That's what my question was.
Yeah.
There's certain place. I didn't know that. I thought it was every place.
No,
but the
certain place. It's a political allies thing.
Okay.
Right.
All right. I'm with it now. I didn't know. Now I learned something today. I hope y'all did too.
Mm-hmm. And it's different. It's different for country to country.
Makes sense.
So Canada might extradite to U.S., but they were like, we're not gonna extradite to Mexico. You know what I mean? So you don't.
So you don't know. So if you're a certain criminals are all over the place. Basically, what you're saying. From other places.
Yes.
So there's criminals from everywhere from other places.
Yes, absolutely.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Mm-hmm. So she's arrested in Newfoundland and let go on bail in the same day, which is pretty wild for
a
violent crime. The prosecutor didn't even argue about not granting her bail. They didn't even make an argument that she shouldn't deserve bail. She came in with a bail deal ready to go, and the $75,000 was put up by her personal psychiatrist.
Who is that?
Just some guy named Dr. Doucette. He just puts up the bail for her.
Why? Who the fuck is this guy? I don't trust this guy.
I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe she was fucking him.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure was fucking him. That's the only. Why would you put up?
He's sugar daddy.
Yeah. Why would you put up He put up $65,000 of her bail, and then she just didn't pay the other.
To do it like it's nothing too. It's like, oh, you're a rich guy. Why would you do that?
Yeah, and she didn't pay any of the other $10,000. By the way, she paid zero money of that bail.
Oh, wow, she just got off easy.
She just got out. Right. The only caveat was she has to turn in her passport. She has to sign in at the local police station once a week, and she's not to contact certain people.
Oh, so they still keep that's. But I mean, you can still if you want to disappear,
you can disappear. Right, absolutely. The narrator says, and with that, the government of Canada let a probable premeditated first-degree murderer walk the streets.
I mean, I can't blame Canada. We all do that, don't we?
Yeah, well,
Is that not everywhere?
Yeah, that's.
I'm not gonna put that all on Canada. Documentary guy.
And like you see Andrew's classmates go. I thought it was crazy, and the narrator said, I could not believe this was happening. But the most unbelievable part is when we found out about you.
Who's you?
What's this movie called?
Dear Zachary.
A letter to a son about his father. Started with Dear Zachary, your father was.
Oh, Andrew had a son.
Narrator's answering machine. Call from the guy that Andrew went. Call to the guy that whose wedding Andrew went to earlier. You know the one where she kept calling? Abbreviated version. That fucking bitch called a press conference and said she's 4 months pregnant with Andrew's baby. If it's true, the Bagbies are going to sue for custody.
What the fuck? Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time, this documentary's been to this kid? Like he's making it for this kid? So wait, are you just making this so this kid knows that his mom's a bitch? What is this? What the fuck is going on, Bob?
I had that thought too. It was like, damn.
This is still his mom. I mean, I don't know. I mean, she murdered him. She deserves to be in prison, but it's like, that's a lot to go on. I'm just going to show him a movie about it. Was his 51st dates? You're going to watch this every morning to remember your mom's a bitch?
My movie now took on a whole nother meaning. It wasn't just a search for what was left of your dad. It might be the only way you could go back in time and see and get to know him. And I vowed to collect every memory from you before they were gone. So finally I set off. First I went to England to talk to everyone on your grandmother's side. Then I would return to the US and road trip from the West Coast to the East to interview all his friends. Until I got to the easternmost part of North America, St. John's, Newfoundland, where the last living piece of Andrew, you, would be waiting for me. I grabbed a few cameras and set off on a quest to bring your dad back to life.
So now we know the mom's just out and about.
Mm-hmm.
She's just waiting on basically the court date.
The court date. Right.
While she's having some guy's baby.
Yes.
The guy she had a press conference about it because she's a fucking psycho bitch.
She's a psychopath.
And she knows this will make her famous.
Absolutely. Give her eyes, views, TikTok, baby.
Everything she wants.
Yes, everything she wants.
Luca Magnotta style.
Pretty much.
I hate this bitch. Keep going.
So while I went to rescue your history, your grandparents quit their jobs, dug into their savings, and moved to Newfoundland to fight for your future.
Who did?
Your grandparents, Kate and David.
Oh, they were like, oh, fuck this. Our life is now this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. Yeah. That's not, is that not, if you're the grandparent, that's your life now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Comedy's done. Everything's done.
Everything's done. Oh, absolutely. If someone murdered my son and then was having his kid, I'm going to get that kid from.
You're not no more direct. You were a director. You were all that stuff.
All that's done. All that's done. No, yeah, none of that's important. I think that really shifts what's important in your life in a major way.
This is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening now.
Yeah. So you hear a voice. I met Kate and David in 2002. They're looking for a lawyer to protect their rights and their baby's rights. You see a lawyer lady, she's, green shirt. Her name is Jacqueline Brazil.
Yeah.
I instantly liked them and wanted them to have a relationship with their child, right? So the grandfather, David, dad, was like, our lawyer went to see Betty Day, part of Canada's CPS, and told Betty the concerns about the safety of the baby because the mom is a suspected murderer. But Betty's like, what can we do? The next day, they go to court, and you see a pregnant-ass Shirley. She's pregnant. She's, clearly pregnant, right?
Probably that rich nigga baby, the big nigga that paid the doctor bill.
And,
the bail.
The narrator, when your grandparents first moved to Canada, they were told the law was slow, and they weren't kidding. February 5th, it's just a smash cut of him describing all the things. February 15th, prosecutor acknowledged that they received the extradition request to America, adjourned until March 11th, where they decided to select the date for the extradition hearing on March 25th, where they decided to hold the extradition hearing on May 27th, where they got caught up in the French-English translation of the extradition law, and they couldn't start until the translation was ironed out. So they re-adjourned on June 11th, which lasted 5 minutes because the judge said he wasn't in a position to rule on that translation, so they were adjourned until July 30th.
Yo, court sucks.
Yeah.
Court's bullshit.
Yeah.
Fucking people's lives like that.
Yeah, over technicalities. There's no common sense.
And it's really just so a lawyer's doing this.
Yeah, so a lawyer can milk money.
He's milking money and time. and time to win. Like it's all like, oh my god, but I hate everything.
Yes,
it's not even our country. This is a different country.
Yeah. Oh, that's why people are like, oh, I want to move to Canada. Hey, it sucks over there too.
Yeah. What do people talk about there? I'm gonna go to Africa. Go.
Good luck. It's awful everywhere. Yeah. While this is happening, Kate and David make friends with everyone make friends with a bunch of people in Newfoundland. You see all their Newfoundland friends, and they talk about how they ingratiate into their city really well, which is tough because the city is an old city. It's the oldest in North America. It's terrible weather, and you see all these people who like love them. You see like a priest who they go to church with talk about how Kate and David were all, like how much they liked them. How they're young at heart. Like Dave was an engineer. He's logical. He's an older model of Andrew, and you see 2 videos of like David saying something and Andrew saying something, and the way they say it is exactly, like your father and son. Kate was a feisty fireball. Feisty ball of fire. She was one of those people if she was on your side. Kate and David are Andrew's parents.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Kate, feisty ball of fire. She's great if she's on your side. One of those people, and they were a rare pair. They were from the start. Right? You go over there. Now Kate and David talk about their marriage. So she was studying around the world. She was a young college student studying around the world. No plans to get married. He was in the Navy. One day. A guy came into his shop. They're in Southern California, San Diego. And the guy goes, hey, I have 2 nurses from England who want to go to Disneyland. And Kate was like, yeah, we wanted to go, but we didn't want to pay. So we're like, let's go 2 guys. So, David takes the short one, which is Kate, and his friend takes the tall one. And the friend and the tall one don't work out, but they fall in love. They get married 5 months later.
They have Andrew.
No, 5 months later they get married.
Okay, and they have Andrew later.
Yeah, they tried hard to have a baby, and they couldn't do it.
So this is just the history of the parents right now.
Real quick, yeah.
Okay. They
tried hard to have a baby, and they couldn't do it, and they were supposed to adopt. But right when they're supposed to adopt, she gets pregnant, gives birth to Andrew. It's like a miracle baby because it's not supposed to work, but it happens, right? He comes 2 weeks late when you see a cut to the screen of the guy saying Andrew's never late, And then now you just see a bunch of pictures of baby Andrew in the hospital. Right, pictures of baby Andrew being born, and the last picture is a current picture of a baby through a glass wall. Right, that's the last picture, the scene of baby pictures. Last picture, more recent picture.
Mm-hmm. Through a glass wall?
A window. My God, a glass wall through a window.
Oh, like a new baby, a baby just got born.
Yes, okay. In a nursery. Right,
I'm with it now.
Right, you see her voicemail for Heather. Hey, from his ex-fiance to the narrator. Hey, it's Heather. Shirley went into labor. Narrator. You were born July 18th, 2002. Shirley named you Zachary Andrew Turner. She wouldn't let your grandma and grandpa come see you. They had to see you through the glass wall.
Oh, because she...
That's the picture. It's the grandpa.
No, I'm saying it's also because she didn't let him see it because she knows she murdered their grandson.
Yes.
And you're like, fuck them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love her. I love Shirley. Keep going.
She's what you call a good person.
Yeah, seems like a keeper.
So now the narrator says, is there anything you want to say to Zachary? And the narrator is now in England interviewing Andrew's family on that side. Right? And you see his cousin John, who's about to get married. He's about to get married. The document is like, okay, about to get married. And his cousin John's like, you're going to get a broad set of perspectives from this guy. You're going to be proud of him. Your dad came to Europe every summer, but he didn't go to tourist spots. He spent it on the outskirts most of the time with your cousin John. They were like brothers, and you see how like they became friends super quick, and they, what I mean?
Andrew and John.
Yes, they were close. They were pretty much brothers, right? And Andrew's aunt and uncle, his cousin's parents, were like, we used to always say that no matter what, it's always great. Andrew and John will always have each other for life.
Okay,
so these guys were close, right? Andrew. What's funny is that John wanted Andrew to be the best man at his wedding. Which I found out is something that a lot of his friends have in common. And it's just a smash cut of like 6 or 7 of his friends being like, yeah, Andrew was the best man at my wedding. Andrew was the best man at my wedding. Andrew was the best man at my wedding. Well, it had to be Andrew. He had to be the best man at my wedding. So it's like he was like pretty much 7 people's best man.
Okay.
Yeah. And then cut back to the wedding in England. His cousin John's getting married. And he's talking to another cousin. Another cousin's crying. He's like, man, I miss him a lot. He was supposed to be at the wedding with us. I wish I could just sit down and talk to him again. I really believed if your dad was there that day, this is what I think his toast would have sounded like. And he plays a toast Andrew gives in a previous wedding when he was alive.
That's nice.
Yeah. Where Andrew starts to cry, and then Andrew's like, oh, I can't cry. I'm a Bagley man. We don't cry. Mm-hmm. But it's a very nice moment. And then you hear John say, what's beautiful about our friendship is that it doesn't matter where you come from. You can meet someone and instantly become friends for the rest of your life. Mm-hmm. And then on the screen, we see a third of Andrew's ashes are buried in England.
In England?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where he went all the time?
Yes, every summer.
Every summer. He's a rich kid.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I grew up in Saratoga. Dad's an engineer, mom's a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then he asked his friends in England, his family in England, anything you'd like to say to Zachary? And his cousin John goes, I hope to see you soon, Zachary. I'm very excited.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
So, grandparents are now taking Shirley to family court. This is outside of extradition court. This is a different court. This is a different court.
Yeah.
Right. So, they had to negotiate with her to see Zachary. And after weeks of negotiating, they get 1 hour a week. They get 1 hour a week with Zachary in family court where they have to be monitored and searched. That's all the grandparents get. That's all they get.
Monitored and searched?
Yes.
How does the mom get all this power?
The courts just give it to her.
But she's the one under a murder investigation.
Yes. But they're just whatever she says they're doing.
Lawyer. She got a good lawyer, bro. There's no other way.
Well,
because they got money, so they'd have a good lawyer too.
You'll see. There's some. You'll see. Mm-hmm. So, the grandparents talk about they're just happy to get something. Like they would go and like to the courtroom to do the thing, and like Kate talks about how like I'll get to the search room and I'll just take off all my clothes. It'd be like here, search, like just make the search go fast.
Butt naked?
Or like I don't like you because they have to search everything. So she just was like, fuck it, here I have nothing.
Yeah.
Just I want to see. Give me to this baby.
Yeah.
Right. And you see a bunch of pictures with them, Zachary and the grandparents, and the grandparents are like, the grandparents.
Yeah, they're happy.
The baby looks a lot like Andrew too. Like
okay.
the baby picture, it's clearly Andrew's kid.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Shirley starts to get mad that they're having this. Shirley thinks they have too much time with him, and they think they're doing.
You see Shirley say this, or
the dad says this. The dad says this. So she's like,
okay.
she thinks, and then she tries to say that we're being inappropriate with Zachary, and we're like being rough. That's the only thing in this entire story that the court doesn't agree with Shirley with. They go, because the court appointed mediators, like, no, they're fine, right? So that sort of backfires. But so that was the family court hearings, right? Now we go back to the extradition hearings. September 19th, finally. September 19th. This started fucking in February.
Mm-hmm.
September 19th, extradition hearing began. Evidence presented. Evidence is presented. Shirley's lawyer pulls some bullshit like, hey, the translation of that law took too long. And there's supposed to be like a 90-day time limit on that. And because it's past those 90-day time limits, Shirley should be allowed to be free and like go on with her life. Right? So the judge then has to be like, well, let's adjourn for today, and I'll come back another day to decide whether or not this hearing should still go on.
So she would just be 100% free at this point?
Yes.
Why?
So if the judge decided, because of a technicality. Because the translation
so she would be able
long.
to go back to America if she wanted to and everything?
Yeah.
And just be free?
No, she wouldn't be able to go back to America because American laws can still arrest her. But she'd be free in Canada. Canada would never send her back to America.
And so as long as she lives her whole life in Canada, she's fine?
Yeah, so this extradition hearing is a hearing to send her back to America.
So she can actually have a fucking trial?
Yes.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. So the judge delays the decision on the case to October 19th, and then delays it one more time to October 22nd.
What is this guy doing? What is he so busy doing?
And then finally decides to go along with the case.
What do you mean?
Says, okay. Says the protest saying it took too long, that's not valid. Let's actually have the extradition hearing. So he decides
her little technicality was bullshit.
Yeah. So
she murdered somebody.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So they resumed the case November 14th. So now we're 2 months away from when the case was supposed to start.
Yeah.
Right. So narrator is back in the U.S. collecting interviews in St. Louis now. He's talking to his dad's side of the family. And they talk about the close relationship that Andrew had with his Uncle Bob. His Uncle Bob was like, he would let Andrew drink beers every once in a while. He would take Andrew fishing, taught him how to shoot a gun.
That's chill.
Yeah. That uncle. They were super close. And then Andrew was also super close with his cousin got married to this dude named Mac. And him and Mac looked at Andrew like a little brother. They'd be pool sharks. They say Andrew stole like $30,000 from people over the time. Like they were that good at pool.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just a bunch of different stories are being overlapped and told at the same time.
Okay.
St. Louis, you could just tell, just a bunch of different stories.
I'm getting the pay. I get what they're doing here.
Yeah. Bob gets cancer and dies, and it's hard on both Mac and Andrew. And you see Mac, this big redneck looking guy, just start crying, and he goes, "This is how you know they were real good friends. I imagine Bob and Andrew are looking at me right now. Those fucking looking at me right now and laughing at me, seeing me cry. Those fucking assholes.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, oh yeah, they were friends. They said a third of Andrew's ashes are spread with Bob's ashes in St. Louis.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We see a man who had the baby earlier, you know, that was asking him, who's Shirley? Yeah, it's Andrew's cousin from his dad's side.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, and then the narrator asks the dad family, is there anything you would like to tell Zachary about Andrew? You know, it's just a smack. He was great. Anything I can do for you, I'd be there for you. I can't wait to see you. I just want to pinch those little cheeks. It's like, oh, Zachary, I'm so sad that you'll never know what you missed.
Okay.
We hear a voicemail to the narrator sent by one of Andrew's friends. Oh, sent by Andrew's ex-fiance, Michelle. Hey, Kurt, it's Michelle. I want to celebrate two things. Shirley's in jail, and the Bagbies have Zachary. Right?
Wait. So they got her to America?
On November 14, 2002, the judge ordered her to be put in jail during the duration of the extradition hearing.
Oh, because the judge was like, "Oh no, shit, she murdered this guy."
Yeah. So while we decide whether or not to send you back to America, we're gonna put you in jail. And then
gave the custody of the kid to the grandparents.
Shirley turns strategically nice. She says the grandparents should have the custody. Right?
Why would she strategically turn nice? Because she's an evil bitch?
Right. Because she hands over the custody, but the custody comes with caveats. She gets to call him once a day. So now we hear the recordings between Shirley and Andrew's parents. Because they have to talk every day. That's part of the custody agreement.
Wait, why do they have to talk to her?
They have to. That's part of the agreement. If they don't, they lose custody of Andrew. They lose custody of Zachary.
I thought she just gets a call to talk to the baby.
I mean, talk to the baby, but who's gonna? Is the baby not gonna answer the phone?
I'm gonna answer the phone, put the baby on, and then when the baby's done, when you're done talking, I'll listen. And when you're done talking to this baby, I'll hang up. Why do I have to talk to you?
That's funny. So you hear?
I'm serious. I'm asking. Why do I have to talk to you? So they have to talk to her?
I think that they don't have to talk to her, but I mean, I think you end up answering the phone. You go, hey, it's Shirley.
Why are the messages recorded? Oh, they're trying to get evidence, I guess. If she
evidence,
says anything.
yeah, and it's just in jail. They record everything.
Yeah. Okay.
And if I were Kate and David, I would try to find a way to record everything too.
You want to take her down. You hate this woman is the devil, even though you have to fucking talk to her every day.
Yeah, every day. It gets worse. So now we hear recordings of the conversation between Shirley and Shirley and.
They ever talk about the murder or no?
So you hear conversations between Shirley and the grandparents, right? And so Shirley's on the phone, and they put Zachary on the phone. Mommy loves you. Mommy loves you. Zachary, mommy loves you. And then Then she's talking to the grandparents on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, Christmas is coming up. Can you give him presents? You know, maybe a present of like a picture of her, me and Zachary, and it says mommy and son on it, right? Or give him that as a present. Or I asked you to put up a picture of me with Andrew in your house. Are you comfortable with that?" And the grandparents are like, no, we're not comfortable with that. She asked them to put up a picture.
I know, but how do the grandparents say they're not comfortable with it?
They're keeping everything civil. So, let me go through these. Let me go through this, and then we'll talk about it because there's a lot going on here, right? So basically, what the grandparents are trying to do, the grandparents are saying we should leave the communication with the lawyers. Basically, they're answering everything like pretty even toned. Because they're not trying to. They're in a custody battle right now with a woman who's pretty much winning.
Yeah, she's psycho.
Yeah, so it's like they can't do anything. So they're very even toned with her. That's how I would describe how they talk to her, right? And she's like, "Oh, it's crazy, amazing how you're taking care of them, and you take care of them like I would take care of them." Now, part of their custody hearing is that they have to drive to the prison. Part of the custody agreement is they have to drive to the prison once a week. For Zachary to meet the mom.
One in Newfoundland?
It's 2 hours north of Newfoundland, and they have to drive through the Canadian winter once a week.
How far is this drive?
2 hour drive.
Jesus
Through
Christ.
snow and shit.
All right.
Right? To honor their agreement, because they have to keep custody of Zachary.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I know.
And
God damn it, my brother has to go through shit like this.
One of their friends tells the story about how one of the prison guards, they're bringing in Zachary, and one of the prison guards tells Zachary, like, "Zachary, I hope someday you realize how brave and courageous your grandparents are." and you see pictures of their grandparents with Zachary, and they look so happy, and they're like, "Oh, you know what I mean? I have a piece of my son, and it's this fucking beauty. My grandson.
I get it. I'm with it. I'm with it."
And the lawyer says, and you see the lawyer again. She's on screen. She goes, but that had to end, didn't it? It's like pissed off. Cut to the narrator. The narrator now crosses the East Coast. Last stop before I see you. Stop in the town of Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to talk to the people who knew him as a doctor. Latrobe, they talk about the things Latrobe is famous for, like Mr. Rogers and Arnold Palmer. And you meet two of his close friends, Bill DiCuccio, who's like this sort of silly guy. You could tell is like a funny guy. And then Clark Simpson, which is the guy with the bed guy, the guy with the bed in his background. You meet him, and they would talk about how Andrew, in addition to the residency at the family clinic, every Monday would go to a clinic across town. And it got to the points where patients would call in and specifically ask for him because he was just really good at diagnosing people, because he was really good at talking to people and getting them to open up about their family history, like medically, and then really tell the story of what's been going on. And he was really good at it. Like the one lady tells the story how he diagnosed his nephew's cancer super early, and his nephew went from most likely not being able to have kids to having a newborn baby a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so he's a good doctor.
He's a good doctor, right? And you see videos of him with the patients, and he seems happy in Latrobe, right? And his parents described their last visit with Andrew in Latrobe. They're about to leave. They're visiting him. They're about to leave, go home. Andrew seems a little nervous. He's blinking a lot, which means he's nervous. And, he goes, "Are you okay?" And she goes, "Yeah." Andrew goes, "Yeah." He kisses his mom goodbye. He kisses his mom and dad goodbye. He goes to the hospital's right across the street from the house. It's like where Blues is from us. So right there. He waves bye to his parents, walks in, and that's the last they ever see of him alive, right?
That's his parents ever see him alive.
Yeah, that's his parents ever see him alive. And you hear a recording of some guy talking. I had this conversation with Andrew. It was weird. He said, "If I die tomorrow, all I want you to do is sit and toast a beer and remember me." Right? And you find out that the Bill DiCuccio guy, Andrew's friend, the silly friend, his parents, when they were cleaning out Andrew's apartment when he died, gave him Andrew's last beer. And he never drank it. And now that Kurt's here, Andrew's friend from school, they're like, it's time to open it. So they open the beer, toast Andrew.
That's nice. Get to the fucking bullshit.
There's
bullshit coming.
Oh, we're right here. Back to the grandparents. Shirley's out of jail again. Right?
How?
So they had to give up Zachary on January 10th, 2003. Right. So Shirley is out of money for a lawyer. She has no lawyer.
How'd she get out of jail?
She asked the judge she wrote a letter to the judge who put her in jail how to write an appeal of the extradition. And the judge tells how to do it. And then you see they interview a bunch of Canadian college professors, and they're like law people, and they're like, "We've never heard of a judge doing anything like that ever. It's never happened before. Never. There's no precedent. I don't know why he did it.
Was he fucking her?
I don't know. I don't think so. Probably not. But he did it.
Was he fucking her?
I don't think so.
She fucked that guy to get the bail money. She keeps getting all these really random things. What does she know who she fucking?
Maybe. I don't know. I can't say anything on that, right? So.
What do you mean you can't say anything? You have an opinion.
I don't think she was
How would she pull that off?
I don't think she was fucking her.
Then how did she pull that off?
I just think she had this whatever with this weird charm to her. You'll see with the next judge. Hold on. I think that title and name, Doctor, made her seem like a little more.
Or she's charming. I mean, people are good. People are great.
I think she's charming.
Psychopaths especially.
Yeah, I think there's got to be a charm to her, and then the fact that she's a doctor as well helps that. Because let me talk to you about the next judge because she comes in right now, right? So
now she's out just with her kid.
Hold on. So she appeals, right? She's out with her kid, but they're talking about how it happens, right? So she asks the judge for help. She appeals it, right? So in her appeal, she gets put in front of this judge named Gail Welsh, and according to the grandparents, Gail Welsh is just gushing over her, like, "Oh, you're a doctor, and you're a doctor, and you're a doctor." She keeps mentioning that she's a doctor, right? And
is the judge a woman?
Yes. She says Welsh
knew it.
Welsh never considered not letting her back out. Like, it was clear when they got in that she was getting back out, just by the way the judge was gushing over her, right? Even though there was no lawyer representing her. She had no money, and every lawyer she asked didn't want to touch the case because she fucking killed him, right? But Welsh loved her, and she thought Shirley was capable of being let free because, A, she was a doctor.
Why don't these grandparents just put a bullet in this bitch head?
Yeah.
Fuck this shit.
A, she was a doctor, and she asked Shirley to ask nicely and behave herself, which Shirley said, "I would do that," right? And Welsh concluded that Shirley was not a danger to the public because since her violent offense was only directed at one person and not the public at large, then that means she's not a threat to the public. Andrew's dad breaks it down. So the judge is saying that even if she did it,
I got it.
She's not. Well, this is the thing.
Oh my God! I'm about to break something.
Well, believe all women. Even if she did it, she's not a danger to anyone else because she killed the person she wanted to kill. And Andrew's dad's like, what fucking terrible logic is that? Most of us, when we're mad at people, don't kill them.
Yep. She
was let go on $75,000 worth of bail. But because of some weird Canadian law, do you know how much of that she paid?
How much?
0. So she just got out for free.
Well, that's what free healthcare, baby. You get, I mean, you can't have all good stuff.
Yeah.
You got to have the shittiest judicial system apparently of all time.
Mm-hmm. And then the narrator goes, and then with that, the government of Canada let a probable premeditated first-degree murderer out on the streets again. And they gave you back to her. Grandparents. After that, did you see the grandparents? After that, things got kind of weird. You see a phone call between David and Shirley, and she wants to meet the grandparents unsupervised, and they're like, "Oh no, we are not doing that."
She wants to meet the grandparents unsupervised.
Yeah, she wants to meet the grandparents.
So she can kill them.
I mean, I would assume so. Why else? Right? And they said no, and you hear more and more phone calls between them. So the grandparents are trying to schedule visits, but they'll only do it if there's a third-party mediator there. They're not going to do it alone.
Because they know she'll murder him.
Yeah.
And get all away with it, apparently.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, clearly. I mean, if I was her, why would I not believe I could get away with it again? I
got so lucky the first time.
Yeah. But people like that, they don't think of it as luck. It's like, oh, I got out of the first time, so I'm going to get out of it the second time. Right. They're psychopaths. But Shirley keeps on maneuvering it so the third party is not available. Like she keeps on switching dates at the last second where the third party can't join. So they start seeing Zachary less and less. And when they do see him, every time it's with Shirley. So now you see a bunch of pictures of the grandparents with Shirley, like with Zachary at a pool or at the mall, and videos, and Shirley is always there with him. So they're hanging out with their grandson.
And their murderer.
And the person who murdered their son.
Jeez Louise. And are they being cordial?
They have to be.
No, I'm saying, like, are they speaking at all to her, or are they?
No, not really. You could. Everyone is speaking to Zachary when they're not speaking to each other at all.
Yeah.
They're not. I would say when you see the video of the dad and grandma, they're not even looking at Shirley.
That's what I mean.
Okay, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
But they are being cordial because they don't want to lose custody of Zachary.
But they're not. Right. Okay, they're doing what they got to do.
They're doing what they got to do. Right. You see Shirley come to church with them, in which the people at the church who are all Kate and David's friends are mad. Even the priest is like, she just here there to show off that she got away with it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the churchgoers are worried that Shirley would go after the grandparents.
Of course.
And the grandparents are like, no, fuck that. We're gonna be with our grandkid no matter what. Right.
Mediator though.
Yeah.
We're not dumb.
Yeah, we're not retarded.
We're not our son.
Yeah. He was getting laid. He was clouded. Vision was clouded.
You gotta bust that nut first.
Mm-hmm. The whole time in the background, Shirley's on the phone with them, and they're just arguing over stuff like, "Hey, we should only talk about this in court. We want to talk about this stuff in court." And Shirley, like, I want to know everything you'd like, everyone you take him with, everyone when you hang out with people who he comes in contact with. I know that's a lot because I know you guys are good grandparents, and I know you wouldn't care if I disappeared with Zachary for a couple days. And the grandparents would be like, the whole thing was disgusting because Shirley was like crying, and she, I don't know if then she would switch from like, oh, you guys are good, to like, oh, I don't know if he's okay with you. I don't know what you're saying to him. And the grandparents are like, we're not gonna hurt Zachary, period. Obviously, right? And then they would avoid talking about the case to jeopardize anything. And then, Shirley was like, Shirley would say things like, I don't feel comfortable giving you more time with him because I don't know what you're saying with him. And then the next sentence, she'll be like, I feel like a 12-year-old because I keep asking you for stuff like, I don't have any money. Zachary might run out of food and diapers. And the dad, David, is like, hey, you're not going to let this baby run out of food and diapers. We're going to go right now and get food and get diapers for this baby.
Yeah.
Right? So they would get food and get diapers for Zachary, and they drop him off at the door. Weren't allowed to see him. Just drop him off. Go. Right? July 6, 2003. Zachary and the narrator.
2003.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It started right after 9/11, guys.
Yeah.
Remember? She couldn't handle it.
Yeah. July 6, 2003. Zachary and the narrator, Kurt, finally meet. And you see, because Zachary's grandparents have custody for this weekend, and they meet, and you see video of Kurt and Zachary, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Yeah. And then, Kurt says, is there anything you'd like to say to Zachary? And there's a smash cut of all his friends, right? Talking, and it's like, oh, you look exactly like him. Zachary, your father was an amazing guy that touched many people. Don't let him lie to you. He hated vegetables. Don't let anyone lie to you. He hated vegetables.
This is him as a baby.
Huh?
The baby's watching this.
No, the baby's not watching this.
Okay.
The baby's not watching this. It's just you just see him interacting with the baby.
Okay.
He's still making the movie.
Yeah.
Right. Don't let anyone lie to you. He hated vegetables. You're an unfortunate. One of the guys says. The bad guy says you're an unfortunate boy because you won't get to grow up with your biological parents, but with a bit of luck, you'll get to grow up with Andrew's parents. And let me tell you this: they did an amazing job with Andrew. You couldn't ask for two better people. Right. So you see the videos with grandparents with Zachary, and more friends being like, Zachary will always be there for you. If you want to talk to me in person, find me. I love you. And I can't wait to see the person you grew up to be. Can't wait to meet you. If you're anything like Andrew, this is going to be good.
Okay.
And like, although everything started out tragic, if you're what's left of Andrew, maybe that's not a bad thing.
I don't trust any of all this sweet shit because I'm like, yo, this bitch is about to get away with this. That's why I'm like, I can't feel anything.
Yeah.
Because this bitch is about to get away with this.
Yeah.
This isn't a movie.
Yeah.
That's why I can't feel anything because this is like, oh, this is real life. This sucks, man. Fuck.
Kurt had to park the van blocks away because his van had California plates, and he didn't want Shirley thinking people were visiting Zachary. Mm-hmm. Just give her any ammo.
Yeah, I get it. Oh yeah.
Every time the doorbell rings, he hides just because Shirley comes around unannounced sometimes. Just check in.
But wait, without a mediator? No, the mediator's there with the baby.
Yeah, it's like weird. She'll try to, and they'll be like, you can't. She's crazy. She's a fucking crazy person. Mm-hmm. So while he's not visiting Zachary, Kurt visits Andrew's friends in medical school to find out what Andrew's like in medical school, and that's where we come face to face with set him on his journey. He sees Andrew's photos because he loved photography. Mm-hmm. Photos are good photos, right? And so they set up an Andrew Bagby Memorial Photography Award. So every year that med school takes the best pictures and they put them up on the wall.
Oh, that's nice.
Of the school, and Andrew's in the middle of the whole wall.
Okay.
Right. With the author picture, that's what's in the middle of the wall. July 18th, 2003. You turned 1. Shirley holds a one year birthday party at a McDonald's. Right. During the party, you can see that Zachary cries in Shirley's arms and runs to his grandmother's. And you hear stories, earlier you heard a story about how the only person who could calm him down was Kate, right? And then, and it says, when Shirley sees that, she gets angry, and she goes, he loves you more than me, right? And then you hear a recording over the phone between Shirley and Kate. They're talking, and Shirley says, I don't know if you hear, you realize what you say. You keep on saying, my baby. And Kate goes, I'm sorry, I'll watch that. I won't say that anymore. It's like, I want you to know you'll never replace me. Right. And then while that's happening, you see videos, right? And in this video, it's a bunch. It's like 6 different videos of like a person having having Zachary, and like letting him walk, and every single time. So it'd be Shirley on one side, his grandma on the other side. Every single time, straight to his grandma. Every single time.
Is the mediator doing this? Who's doing this?
Like sometimes it's mediator, sometimes you see it's like a family member. You know what I mean? It's because whenever they're hanging, or like a friend who's there to like be the third party.
But he I'm not saying edited it, but he chose the
Yeah, you chose that. You chose every single time, and and it's not always a choice. Like, oh, okay, the mediator puts it down, and they just sometimes Zachary is just playing around, hanging out, and he gets up and he always walks towards his grandmother.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it's not clear from the video. David talks about how everyone talked about how Zachary always chose Kate over Shirley. It's something everyone talked about because Shirley has no actual warmth with her. She has other kids. We don't hear about them because she abandoned them. She only got back in contact with them when she had Zachary to use her in like family court. Like, oh, look at
wait, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he just says that right now.
So she has other kids.
Remember, she has 3 kids.
I forgot about this.
Exactly.
How old are those kids?
Older. You don't really see much from them.
Like what? Older, like grown, or like older, like 12?
Like 12.
They're not older. They're kids.
Yeah, they're still kids. They're still kids. They're definitely
But they all stay with their dads.
Yes, they all stay with their dads.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Next extradition hearing, September 25th, 2003.
She still hasn't been extradited.
Yeah, that's when and they expect Shirley to be put in jail.
Wait, what do you mean?
They're saying so it's still July, August or whatever.
She's not in jail.
She's not in jail. The next extradition hearing is September 25th. That's Andrew's 30th birthday. Okay. Would have been Andrew's 30th birthday. Kurt expects Shirley to be put in jail. He says, I expect her to be put back in jail. And he goes home. He says bye to Zachary. Zachary's a regular kid in every way. Doesn't say goodbye. He just hates saying goodbye to people. That's his whole thing.
Well, how old is Zachary?
1.
Well, he wouldn't even know what goodbye is.
Yeah. So, August 18th, 2003. Grandparents come home. There's a card on the door telling them to talk to the police constable.
What's that?
The detective, pretty much. A detective. Now it's a smash cut of all their friends in Canada talking about where they were that morning. I was doing this, I was doing this, I was doing this. And one of them was watching the news. And on the news, up pops a picture of Shirley and Zachary. They're both missing. Smash cut to all them reacting.
Here we go.
And the grandparents' house, or like the grandparents, everyone.
This is why I couldn't feel anything earlier.
Yeah.
Because I knew this was coming, fool.
Yeah.
This was whatever.
Grandparents are all the friends rush over to the grandparents' house. She's like, "What happened? Did you take him and run?" Earlier you hear that recording of when she says, "You wouldn't freak out if we disappeared for a couple."
I remember
days.
that when she said that. I clocked that.
Yeah.
Did you clock that?
I clocked that. I clocked that immediately. They received the call. Not the receive. The lawyer. Their lawyer receives a call. They're doing a search on the beach. A body has been found. A baby has been found with the body of an adult. A body of a baby has been found with the body of an adult.
Wait, two bodies have been found.
Two bodies have been found.
Baby and adult.
Baby and adult.
Okay.
It's Zachary and Shirley. Lawyers tell the grandparents. News article: Turner son found dead.
At the beach.
Mm-hmm. So now Grandpa is going off. You know, if I ever see her again, I'll kill her, strangle that fucking bitch.
Who?
The grandpa, the granddad. Like if she, if he ever was in a,
If you ever saw who again?
Shirley, she's dead, but like, he's saying like he's just mad. He's just fucking angry.
God, I wish they would have killed her. We saw this coming, man. This woman was unstable. I've been saying it this whole time. Put a bullet in her fucking head. That's it. You got to spend the rest of your life in prison, but that's it.
That's it.
You want your grandson to live? That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. You want him to live or not? Because I saw this coming, man. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm so mad now. I was like, oh, my God.
You see the death certificate. It's 13 months old. Grandparents identify the body.
How'd they die?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Grandparents identify the body. And the identification process is almost the same as Andrew, covered in a white sheet, all that.
We have that on video?
No, they're saying it. They're saying it. Except this time they can't touch the body because it hasn't been autopsied yet, and it's a criminal case, so they can't touch it. And then the grandparents...
It's a murder-suicide.
Yeah. Grandparents collapse, right? Then you see the summary of evidence against Shirley Turner, Part 2. In July, Shirley met a guy at the bar. They went out a couple times, and then his friends found out that Shirley was accused with murdering her last boyfriend. So the guy breaks it off. Shirley calls and leaves two.
This is going on now. Before, like,
this is going on while he's visiting Zachary.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is what's going on with Shirley during that time. So the guy breaks it off, obviously.
Just some dude who's like, oh, then you killed your last dude?
Yeah.
How did he find that out?
His friends Googled her.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. She calls and leaves 200 messages on his phone. And one of them she claimed she was pregnant. She wasn't. The night she killed you, she left a phone call and on her friend's answering machine saying she had gone over to this guy's place. She took her other son's car, parks it near his house, leaves a used tampon and photos of you, and drops it near his house, completing her attempt to frame you for what she was about to do. She took you to the ocean near your home. A night watchman thought he heard a baby crying at 2 a.m. She took the prescription Ativan given to her by that psychiatrist that bailed her out and mixed it into your formula.
He's got to go to prison.
Mixed it into your formula before taking one herself. And now, obviously, the narrator's crying. Right? So, the only thing we know about this, the only good thing we know about all this is because of that, we knew you were not conscious and you did not suffer. She then walked to the edge of the pier and with you strapped to her with a sweater, jumped into the Atlantic Ocean. Recording as Shirley. Mommy loves you.
So she committed suicide?
Murder-suicide. She killed the baby, killed herself.
But she did this to frame...
She tried to frame the guy she was seeing.
How would this have framed him? How would how? Like he threw you in there?
I mean, I'm not saying she was stable. I'm not saying it wasn't a very good plan because clearly the police didn't suspect the guy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is there a tampon here?
Because there's blood on a tampon.
And then the picture. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's but she's clearly mentally she's so gone at this point. She's so gone at this point.
200 calls to that guy.
Yeah.
If I'm that guy, I'm also worried for my life.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like worried for my life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, this is exactly what she did to this last guy in this Google articles I'm reading.
Right. Yeah. And then he's dead.
The fuck?
The fuck. She says she's pregnant and there's this kid thing going on. Like, yeah, it's a lot. You see Kate and David at the place where Zachary died, and you hear Kate's voiceover. He was found with his face up, eyes open. The policeman who found him didn't wrap him in plastic. He wrapped it in a blanket, and he made sure to keep the body away from the wicked woman who hurt him. Then you hear the dad. We realized one thing when we came to Newfoundland, that Shirley Turner was the devil. You know, and you see one of their friends in Newfoundland going like, man, I haven't gone to church since Zachary died. Really fucked up my faith, you know. You see 300, 400 people are at the service. Andrew's ex-fiance, you know, I've never seen a coffin that small.
At the mom service?
At the service for Zachary.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the mom service. They were like, oh, you did it.
Also, she's shorter than I thought.
Yeah, she said they've never seen a coffin so small, and they talk about all the stuff they put in the coffin. Grandparents spread Zachary's ashes with his dad. This is where Kate really breaks down. Because she breaks down about when Andrew died, Andrew wanted to be cremated, she didn't accompany Andrew's body from the funeral home to the crematorium. And she fucked out about that. It's like, I can't believe I left my son alone like that. You know, he's just, everything about him is in a plastic bag except for his head that's sticking out. She's bawling. You know, and Zachary made that journey alone. So Andrew made that journey alone. So with Zachary, I made sure to go with him all the way to the oven doors, right? And she's just fucking bawling, right? And then David's just mad. Just, that's what this fucking bitch didn't know. That this is what she was leaving. Or she did know, and she didn't give a good goddamn about what she was doing to us. Fucking hate that woman. Right? And then you see the grandpa talking about, I had a plan to kill Shirley. I had a plan. So Kate would take these sleeping pills. So when she took one, I was going to go over to Shirley's house and kill her. And that way, if I got caught, at least Kate can be like, well, Kate had the plausible deniability.
Yeah, she's sleeping, drugs in her body.
Drugs in her body. And I would go to jail. Kate could raise Zachary. I thought about that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
You've thought that, right? I know you thought that.
Yeah, kill this person.
I thought that.
You have to. Yeah, there's no choice.
There's no choice.
There's no choice.
When she got out the second time, bro.
There's no choice.
That was it.
There's no choice.
That was it. She'd have been dead, not that night, but the next, maybe 2 nights after she's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm in prison, and that's the cards I got dealt in life, bro. Mm-hmm. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for the safety of my grandkid, I'd do that. Absolutely.
And like you said, plan it out where she could take care of him.
Yeah. They thought about trying to steal.
Did he say why he didn't do it?
Yeah. He tried about.
He thought about it.
He thought about stealing and running, stealing Zachary and running, but then he's like, well, Zachary couldn't live a normal life at all, and that wasn't cool.
No, it's not. No, he can't do that.
He can't do that. And so he's like, damn, the best thought of keeping Zachary alive was me killing her. And you see the priest. They tell this all to the priest, and even the priest goes, it's good logic. And what it comes down to, and this might be some white shit, they said, but at the end of the day, we trusted that the government would do the right thing.
No, that's not some white shit.
Yeah.
That's some everybody shit.
That's some everybody shit.
Because in your head, you're like, they have all the evidence. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. And then
and he said they failed and they gambled with people's lives. You see a press conference by the Canadian health minister, and he goes, well, the proper protocol was followed. So
that's all he has to say?
That's all he has to say.
I love him.
Yeah.
Go Canada.
Yeah.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. I get that song now.
It makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What happened there? Hold up. Give me a second. Oh, did it stop recording? It stopped recording for whatever reason.
Well, let's finish.
All right. Well.
Come back in on it then.
Yeah.
3.
Well. Memory card full again? What the fuck? I deleted it. You want to just
pause?
Or do you want to just finish the episode with no?
Yeah. All right.
Huh?
Yeah, let's just finish.
Yeah.
I'll come back in.
Yeah.
3,
2, 1. Yeah. Sorry,
guys.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. And to people who are watching on YouTube, sorry that you're just getting audio now.
Yeah.
But something happened with our camera, and we have to finish the episode like this.
Yep.
But we'll be back on the next episode with the whole video, so don't worry.
Right.
This is just for this one. Relax.
Yeah.
We're still poor.
Yeah. Yep. I deleted I apparently have to manually delete shit now.
Oh, they don't need to know the specifics.
No.
All you know is, hey, next week we'll give you. I mean, not next week. Next episode, you'll get it back. video people. Which we do love you, by the way, because you're the only people who watch it on the video. Right. Everyone else downloads. You're a very select few.
Fuck, that's annoying. Anyways, regardless. Okay. So the grandparents decided to hold a press conference. Right?
Yes.
So they hold a press conference, and they want to change the law, right? The bail law, like granting bail to violent criminals, right?
Yes.
And the lawyer calls them and says, hey, you can't do this press conference because there's a press van on this case right now. And David goes, fuck them. If they put me in jail, they put me in jail. And they hold the press conference.
Yeah.
Right. And they say, the press conferences, they say the legal system helped kill Zachary. And then they name the names of everyone in the case they believe was complicit.
Every single person.
Every single person.
I'm naming the doctor, Shirley's doctor. I'm naming everybody.
They're naming everybody. So while they're naming it, they're naming the people. And then you see videos of Kurt, the filmmaker, trying to get those people on the phone to interview them, right? So they first named the judge that first letter on bail, David Russell. Kurt calls Judge Russell's office, gets the runaround. They call out the prosecutor, the one who gave her the bail deal. No answer, right? They call out the psychiatrist. Doesn't answer Kurt's call.
Oh, that bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
That bitch made nigga, bro. Fuck him the most, dog.
Yeah.
God, I hate him.
They call trying Elizabeth Day.
He should be a part. He gave him the motherfucking murder weapon.
He did. Yeah, right?
He sold him the murder weapon.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
That motherfucker deserves it, man.
They call Elizabeth Day, the CPS person who the grandparents were first concerned, like Zachary shouldn't be with his murderer, and she was like, whatever, right? She doesn't return their call. And the parents were like, it was ridiculous that no one cared who the baby was staying with. It's ridiculous. It's a baby.
Yep.
It's a murderer. Right?
Because everybody wanted to do the right thing, protocol.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to make sure a lawyer couldn't get in their ass instead of doing the right thing. God, you're all everyone's full of shit.
Everyone's full of shit.
Oh, and people want to tell me to vote. Suck my dick, dude.
Everyone's full of shit.
Suck my dick. You all suck.
Everyone's full of shit. They called the Chief Justice Green, the one who gave her told her how to write an appeal that no judge ever does. They call
that
her,
guy,
yeah.
the worst. Her. She was the one who was smothering all over, right?
No, that's the next one.
Oh.
They call Green. They call her, and he just says he interviews him for a little bit. He says, "Well, what I did speaks for itself." That's all he says, which is even more assholey than not answering.
What I did speaks for itself. What does that mean?
I don't know.
That's all he says.
That's all he says.
What I did speaks for itself.
Right.
What else did he say in the interview? Those are the only words he said?
It's the only word. That's the only word.
Like, why would he just edit that?
I mean,
I want to talk to the director now.
Yeah, there must have not been more.
Because what was more was made less sense.
Yeah, I was like, okay, let's just what makes sense from this.
Yeah, because this guy's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that's just so you know, that crazy guy is the one handling this.
Yeah,
judicial shit.
Yeah,
that's insane motherfucker.
Psychopath. Yeah,
who probably also kills people. Man, oh god. All right, what about this fucking bitch ass judge?
All right, so now they try to call Gail Welch,
the one who ruined it all.
Yeah, and you hear basically he keeps on replaying lines that Gail Welch says in her verdict on why she should be let go. So the first one, that Gail Welch said that she has no indication that would cause people harm.
Mm-hmm.
That she would cause people harm. And then Kurt goes, Shirley's last boyfriend, the one, the 200 calls, says she threatened him to kill herself when they broke up. There's 8 separate people with restraining orders against her. And you see all the 8 people that have restraining orders. And when she was in jail that first time, she was placed on suicide watch every 15 minutes and threatened to stab another inmate with a fork. This is all information that Gail Welch had. All that information Gail Welch had.
But because she was a doctor.
Yes. Because she was a doctor, the woman thing definitely had something to do with it.
She's a woman doctor.
Yeah. And when you see Gail Welch's haircut, you'd be like, oh, the woman thing.
They're white women.
She had the Karen haircut.
Had to have her back.
Yeah.
Had to have her back.
Yeah. And they replay again. Because Gail Welch says, because her crime was specific in nature, she's going to let Shirley go. The worst ruling, one of the worst rulings of all time.
And did they get her on an interview or no?
No. She does not answer.
Is she still a judge, though?
Yes.
Right now to this day?
Yes, I looked it up.
Hey, Gail Welch, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Anyone who knows this bitch, please DM her something nasty and say that Bean sent you.
Yeah. Yeah, please. If you know her, leave her a message.
This bitch
she deserves that.
Everything.
She deserves every negative
thing. Because this is also like, they're talking
about
Shirley's pure evil, because it is, but this is pure evil too.
Yeah.
All those people involved are pure evil, bro. Every last one of them, bro. That's evil.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yeah.
All of them are evil, nigga.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I'm so.
Absolutely. Welch does know the interview. You see, she says no. We finally see the crime scene photo of Andrew's body lying on the street. Like he shows that you see his body lying on the street. Yeah. You see the grandpa says grandpa says she had to be stopped and she wasn't. Shirley had to be stopped and she wasn't. And I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure in Canada they changed how to deal with killers. And the narrator goes, and with that, your grandma and grandpa became activists. So you see rallies. You see them at rallies. They form support groups for people affected by violent death. The whole annual vigils for Zachary.
Wow, that's like my aunt.
Yeah.
It's exactly what my aunt Nina does.
Yeah.
It's exactly, I mean, literally it's what my aunt Nina does.
It's wild. It's wild.
Melina Sellers, look it up.
When
Phillips now.
When this happened specifically, I was like, oh, fuck. That really made me think of you.
Yeah. Like, wow, I live in this world. Mm-hmm. Like I wasn't there for the murder because I was still a baby, but I was there for all the way until they caught the fucking. I mean, the motherfucker died recently of COVID.
Oh, he deserved that.
Yeah,
he deserved way more than that, but
deserved way more than that. That's why it's weird. It's like, and it was weird to see how my cousins and them post about it because they all had weird feelings about it.
Yeah, I don't think there's any.
But like, was the chair gonna make them feel better either? I don't know either. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. You know, but I've had to see them deal with that. Like, I had to see them deal with not finding the killer for like 15 years.
Yeah.
So there was that my whole life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
that was just my whole life.
That's a whole separate thing.
Yeah. And then so it's like, man, this shit is so lame, fool. I feel it, but not the activist part. The activist part, that's amazing, and I understand that. And it's like how that's how some people and I that's how some people cope. Like my aunt, that's how she coped. Mm-hmm. The other mom, she is more activist too, but like not like that. Like she's a little way more like just in the room. Like it affected her different. You know what I'm saying? And that's not like there's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong way to deal with it.
It's just some people it's like, man, for me to deal with it every day, I got to think about it every day. Mm-hmm. And it's like that seems crazy, but it's like no, but not if you really going through it.
Yeah, not if at the end of the day, it's like, well, if your fucking kid gets murdered, how are you supposed to? There's no normal way to deal with that.
Yeah, and then your kid gets murdered while you're fighting for your kids.
Yeah,
murder. Like I can't. Yeah, it's gonna make you an activist. Mm-hmm. Surprised they're not Black Panthers.
Yeah, for real. They hold an annual vigil. Kate became a child advocate in court system, so she she works with kids who don't have proper representation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, proper representation.
Yeah. John Doucette, the psychiatrist, was charged with professional misconduct and lost his license and all that.
The guy that I said deserves jail.
And that charge, that charge was led by David and Kate. They were the ones that we're gonna get this guy.
Oh, we're gonna get somebody.
Oh, and they fucking got him.
And they weren't able to get I'm sure they're not able to get the judge or anybody like that because of political litigation bullshit.
Yeah.
But they can get that guy.
They can get that guy, and they fucking got that guy. And they got a high minister in Canada to do an autopsy of the case and see what happened. Review the case and break it down and be like,
oh, like the nigga from Knives Out.
Something like that.
Some super detective.
Yeah, or just some high up minister, someone who normally. It's their job to look at the government and see what's going on.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like an internal investigator.
What did that person say?
So, October 4th, 2006, court releases finding. Grandpa and the narrator go to Canada. Grandma wants to go, but she got hurt in a fall, so she has to stay back in Sunnyvale. They come up with two key conclusions. Zachary's death was preventable, and she should have never been given to his mother care. They said there was a serious lack of judgment by the upper management level and by the people on the case.
Yes, right. We all know those things.
Yeah, Elizabeth Day resigns. The CPS lady that lets them. Remember they voiced their concerns to the CPS lady.
Oh yeah.
She resigns.
Child Protective Services.
And the investigators kept on asking why Shirley was allowed bail, and there was no good answer to that question. And if she wasn't granted bail, Zachary would be alive. And David then goes on a humongous press tour of Europe. You see him on shows, radio shows, TV shows just talking about we got to change this law, 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 over and over again. And then you finally see the press interview one of Shirley's other kids, and then you sort of oh fuck, he was they were going through it.
Yeah, they were going through it
because you see the kid with Zachary, and you thought, oh, it's his little brother.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He loved his little brother, and it's his mom that killed his little brother. So you can tell that kid's just fucking
who killed that dad, and you know it.
Yeah. And they're asking him like, what do you think? And he's like, he's trying to. How do you even answer that?
Yeah.
You know. And you see the grandfather at a press conference, and says, I will continue to fight long and hard for this. And David publishes a book, Dance with the Devil, on March 25th, 2007, about the case. Sold out in 4 weeks. Becomes a national bestseller.
Oh, so he makes the bag.
He makes bags off this.
He makes and then they make this documentary.
Yeah.
They made bags off this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I'm not, that wasn't like I'm disgusted. That was just like God, that's a painful bag.
Yeah. It's
But what you can do with that money changes everybody's situation. It's almost like it's Andrew's blessing in a weird way.
Yeah, you can use it positively. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
It's the world's worst consolation prize.
Yes.
That's how I would describe this bag.
You know what it is?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Susan B. Anthony. I just watched Ocean's 13.
Yeah.
And that's when they fuck with the guy the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The guy was there to give the $5 diamond reward.
Right.
And then at the end, the last scene in the movie, they set it up where he wins $11 million. You don't remember this?
Yeah,
the last scene, Brad Pitt's like, hey, try this one.
Yeah,
and he's like, hey, try this one. It's been playing out. And the guy's like, oh, he's got bed bug bites, and he's like fucking fucked up. And he puts it in, he's like, I won $11 million. And Brad Pitt smiles, and then that's Ocean's 13.
Yeah, but
and it's like, the worst consolation prize.
At least in that one, you get $11 million at the end. This one, your son is still dead. And your grandparents. You know what I mean? This is even
this one you just get $11 million.
Yeah.
Everything else stays the same.
Everything else sucks.
You still have bed bugs for life.
Oh, yeah. So, we hear the narrator. I traveled the world for years looking for what's left of your dad and made a whole ton of new friends. But there was still one question I couldn't answer. How would I know when I was done? What was I looking for? And there was a grief counselor. We resolve our grief. We have to be able to accept the reality of that loss. And you see one of the people he's interviewing. Hey, Kurt, who's interviewing you? Grief counselor. They get their questions. They get questions answered to the best they can, and they have to learn how to surrender to the things that they can. And you see him talking to all the people he interviewed, and he goes, and a lot of people go, hey, he talked about you a lot. He talked about you a lot. And Kurt's joking with him. Well, what he said was a lie. And then one of the guys goes, well, you must be a terrible filmmaker then. Right? And then light moment. Grief counselor, and continue to live remembering that person, right? And now you see cuts of Andrew in Kurt's movie as a kid, just a bunch of different scenes again, even different scenes than the one before of Andrew in his movies, right? Kurt, I didn't want to stop making this movie and finish the one last movie I was making with him. And the grief counselor, grief is unwillingness to let go. And you see a scene from one of his movies where Andrew hugs Kurt in the scene and goes, I'll miss you, buddy, and they hug, right? And then you hear Kurt, you know how he always says, let's do it one more time?
Yeah.
You hear Kurt go, let's do it one more time. And then he replays the scene. Right? And then we just see more video. And then, we see videos of Andrew and Zachary. And the grief counselor goes, life will never be the same, will it? And now they know that's what's needed to move forward. Narrator again. Videos of Zachary, and the narrator goes, there are so many stories I wanted to tell you about him. And somewhere I hope you're watching. I almost gave up making this film when you were murdered. I couldn't see the point of making it anymore. But something kept me going. And I realized what it was. This film is no longer a letter to you. Now you see the same letterhead that you wrote Dear Zachary. This is now a letter to someone else. And you write, you hear it. Dear John and Kate. Right? So they're writing it to John and Kate. David and Kate. Sorry. Dear David and Kate.
I know you meant though.
Yeah. And now you see all the people he interviewed talking to David and Kate. So he goes back and re-interviews them. And he goes, you two, you have a hell of a lot to live for. You still got a lot of friends and family that loves you very much. You're too brave. I love you guys. How am I going to do this without weeping? I admire you for raising a wonderful man. I admire you for keeping your head up through all of this. You guys push through. You make us proud. Just all these people. Just, trying to show David and Kate love.
That's hard.
Mm-hmm. We love you. We're blessed to be your friends. And then you see David and Kate, and they're smiling now, and they go, one of Andrew's friends told us we still have kids. Andrew's 32nd birthday, 2005, all of his friends are at David and Kate's house.
That's nice.
Oof. And you see David and Kate, playing with their kids, Just really everyone.
This is fucked, man. This isn't a movie.
And then you hear another voice saying, "You're always going to find ways to help people." Talking to David and Kate. I hope David and Kate realize how much Andrew loved them. And you see the story. Andrew's telling a story about his parents. He's in a hotel room with his friends. And he goes, "Man, I'm so glad I was never a rebellious child because it would have been wasted on David and Kate Baggerly. One year I decided I'd get my ear pierced, and they didn't notice for 3 weeks."
This is Andrew telling the story?
This is Andrew telling the story. Yeah, in a hotel room. And they didn't notice for 3 weeks. And finally, one day, I'm like, "Mom, Dad, look." And Kate looked up from my mom looked up from dinner and goes, "Oh, that's nice," and went right back to it. And it cuts to Andrew saying, "I know I love you." And then it's Andrew starting to cry, and then it goes. Then the movie back to the letter goes, "Love, Kurt, for Kate and David." And that's the movie.
What's the name of the movie again? It's not a movie. I'm sorry. What's the name of the documentary? Because it's not a movie. It's not a movie. For the millionth trillionth time, it's not a movie.
Dear Zachary, a letter to a son about his father.
Okay, so it still came, but it was just the letter ended up being to them.
To them.
Yeah, it's one of the most fucked up documentaries I've ever heard. That's why I guess that's why it's a documentary, not a movie, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Because movies like that are terrible. And I mean, they're great, but they're fucking. You feel bad.
Yeah.
You feel horrible at the end of them.
Yeah, this is a.
So that's why this is a documentary.
This is
because this is a documentary because people died. 3 human beings died.
Yeah.
Lives were affected in horrible ways. 2 murders happened.
2 murders, one completely avoidable. One 100% avoidable.
Yeah, one just murder.
One murder that.
One just straight murder out of passion.
Out of passion that you can't really guess.
I mean,
that.
you can't. How do you guess that? And then the other one was like, if OJ got out and then killed again.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, yeah. What'd you want? What'd you think was gonna happen? That guy's luckily got a good head on his shoulders.
Right. Yeah. Well, he's got it together.
Yeah. Well, he got it together.
Yeah. And then he tried. It's crazy how he went to jail for stealing his own memorabilia. Isn't that crazy?
I felt that one though.
Yeah. Right.
I get him on that. Actually, on that one, I was on his side.
On that one, it's crazy. It's crazy he went to jail on the thing he shouldn't have gone to jail for.
But that's what it's like. Oh, thank God. Yeah. You know what though? That was also the judicial system going. Oh, we gotta get this guy back.
Yeah. Oopsies.
We fucked that last one up with that whole race thing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Oh my God. This fucking documentary is fucked, man.
Fucked.
You know it's fucked from the beginning too.
You know it's fucked from the beginning.
You know it's fucked from the beginning. And you don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm like, oh, this bitch is crazy. This bitch, but I'm like, nigga, but there's something deeper. Cause it's not just no documentary be made about a nigga getting killed for some pussy unless you're Steve McNair.
Right.
Do you feel me? Like, why do we care about that one? Well, he's Steve McNair.
Yeah.
Of course we care. This is not just that. It ends there. Not worthy of a documentary.
Right.
So that's why when that happened, I was like, that ain't it.
Right.
That ain't why this documentary was made.
Right. Absolutely. And I will say it's very beautifully well done. The Kurt guy narrates.
Did he win awards for it?
I believe it was nominated. I don't know if he won awards for it.
Did he make a lot of money for it?
I don't know. We can check. I didn't actually check the box office.
What it made.
The music in this is good, and he's the composer as well. So you know what I mean. So he's just all
his baby.
This is his baby.
Well, the documentary. What else would it be? Right.
It only made 18,000 in the box office. I mean, it wasn't.
Oh, but it's made money streaming.
Yeah. Well, it's free. It's free streaming. It's free on Amazon Prime, and it's free on YouTube.
He's made his money somehow.
He made his money somehow, and then
because it's got. If you watched it in college, it was big then.
Yeah.
It's been big for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
He's made his money.
It was big. It was one of Netflix's, I think, first big. Like when they were acquiring documentaries, it was one of the.
Is it on Netflix still? Did you watch it on Netflix?
No.
How'd you watch it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, cool.
And it's also on YouTube. Like I said, so it's out there. Let's see. It wasn't nominated for any. It was nominated for a lot of awards at festivals.
But the book got the bag.
Yeah, book got the bag. Yeah, and then March 2010, Canada introduced a bill called the Zachary Bill,
which is a bill that allows you to kill babies.
Yes.
So that way you can get away. You don't have to have all this mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically, if the child is if the child is in custody of someone who's been charged with a serious crime, the the safety of the child comes first over everything else, which is crazy that they needed a law in 2010 to tell them that.
Of course they did. Dude, there's everything that is a law is because right before they were like, we have to make this a law.
Yeah.
And that's every single law ever. Isn't that crazy? From like murder to something as simple as this.
Yeah.
Because of course in your head you're like, oh, that's simple. That's not a rule. And you're like, we haven't had to make it a rule yet.
Whew.
And then the time you have to make it a rule, it's like, well, fuck, that should have been a rule.
Yeah, clearly.
And you know what? If it wasn't a rule, we should have all had the fucking common sense to know that this should be a rule.
Right.
And not be like, oh, well, legality is not actually a fucking rule. Because that's what they all did. That's what they all sounded like.
That's what they all did. Yeah. They all were like,
I don't want to get sued.
yes, this baby's in trouble, but I don't want to lose money.
I don't want to lose my career, my spot, my money. And I don't even just want maybe a blemish on my record. Maybe something as simple as like, were you going to lose it all? No. Who knows what was going to happen? A baby would be alive. That's the only thing we know.
Yeah,
But would you still be a judge? Probably.
Right? I mean, the baby's dead and you're still a judge.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You fucking bitch. God, I hate that bitch. I can't wait to see her shitty ass haircut.
Oh, my God. Oh, God.
I hate everybody that's other than the people you shouldn't hate, obviously.
I would go Judge Gail Welsh. But you look at her, you're like, oh, she's the queen of the Karens.
Queen Karen.
Judge Gail Welsh is Queen Karen.
Clearly, Shirley's a Karen.
Yeah.
She's Karen.
Yeah.
And then Gail Welsh is Karen. And then every other person involved is Karen. And that fucking bitch-ass therapist, doctor is Karen as well.
Yeah, they're all Karens. They're all Karens.
That fucking motherfucker. I'm so glad he got his.
The grandparents are,
Oh, man, I relate to them.
Yeah.
Reminded me a lot of my aunt. Made me feel good.
They're good people. You know what they remind me of? Fucking in Precious, the teacher's name.
Paula Patton.
Yeah. The light in the dark.
Yeah.
Even when the light is, even when it's dark on them, their light shines brightly for other people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
their light was gone.
Yeah. They thought they were gonna kill themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they.
What made them stop? What made them not kill themselves? Become an activist? Did they say why they didn't kill themselves?
That, and I think it's other people telling them like, hey, you still have kids. It's just in times like that, you definitely need other people.
I mean, isn't that crazy that he was like a miracle child? Because he was.
He was.
The miracle was the book and like the story and like what this means, the law and like what this did for everybody going on. It's like that was the miracle. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to me. I know that's hard to see and it's fucked up, but it's like that's what it was. And that's beautiful too, bro. That's beautiful, bro. Not everybody gets that. A lot of people just live a basic ass life, which is, I know in your head you're like, I would much rather, given the opportunity, would I rather live a basic ass regular life and we live a long life or a short life that like
that has impact,
that impacts and changes the world. Of course, if you ask me, I'll be like, oh, give me this one.
Yeah.
I don't want. Give me this one. Get the what? Who wants their kids to die? You know what I'm saying? But like, if you have to go through it, like the beauty on the other side is crazy. But man, it ain't fair.
No.
I don't think it's worth it. But it's like I'm glad it's. Because I'm not going to say the worth is not the word.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, well, it was worth it.
Right.
Like, you don't want to say that to them. Like, well, it seems like it was all worth it.
No, it's, but it is, what's it called?
It's like a different word, I'm sure.
It's, out of ashes rises a phoenix, I guess, and sort of like.
Or when the things Phoenix, Harry Potter.
Yeah, that's what I mean. No, when things are terrible, not everything is bad. Like you,
even though this is one of those situations where everything is bad and terrible,
and they made, I don't know how they made positive out of it,
they
but
made some lemonade out of literally the worst rotten apples of all time.
Yeah,
and it's like those aren't even, that's not even lemons.
And you made some lemonade. You fucking, you shout out to Dave and Kate, man.
Oh, shout out Dave and Kate. I'm sure they get it a little bit. But shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
And they're also huge beaners, so I'm sure this episode was a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, just any positivity sent their way, I hope they feel it.
Yeah, and everything negative sent to Gail Welsh, I hope she fucking feels it.
I hope she feels it. The name Gail Welsh for many years has made me very mad.
Oh, that name sucks. I'm going to name my daughter that.
And then abandon her. All right.
Oh, my God. We shouldn't end that way. Okay, we love you guys. There's love in this and there's love in the world. We love you. We're not going to end like that.
Yeah, please stay positive.
Everything will be fine.
Everyone strive to be David and Kate's.
Try to be David and Kate's and try to be your best selves and poop.